And the inbound from Nickeil Alexander-Walker also having checked into Anderson. And Naz Reid also in the game now for Minnesota as Edwards, left wing drive to the rim, hanging, hit the underside of the rim, and the rebound of Washington. A terrific challenge by Gafford to stop Edwards. Now Hardy on the drive, wraparound finds Washington. No look down low, knocked away by Anderson. He should have taken the floater. Here comes Reid up the right side. Reid, straight line drive, got to the rim, missed it, rebound, Gobert in the lane, and comes up short. Washington may have gotten a piece of that, and it comes down to Gafford.
Both teams playing hyper-aggressive, maybe a little too fast.
Luka, left side of the floor, wants Gafford to come up and set the screen. To the left, Luka turns that way, and from the bottom of the logo, he hits!
He sure did, because Anderson went under the screen and he saw that opening and took it. You can't leave him open for a little bit.
A 17-point first quarter for Doncic, the most points he's had in any quarter in the playoffs, and it's 27-18, a 9-0 run for the Mavericks. 2:45 remaining in the first. Edwards left to right. Pick and roll with Gobert. Didn't shoot it. Back out Alexander-Walker. Anderson won't shoot it. Alexander-Walker will from the right wing. That's no good. And Doncic, the rebound, knocked away by Anderson, but in the hands of Washington.
You saw Minnesota there. Gobert didn't want to take it inside. Slomo didn't want to take it from three.
Timberwolves have missed their last 7. Luka pulls up and hits again. A three-pointer from the top of the arc. And Chris Finch and Micah Nori have to take a timeout. Doncic, a 20-point first quarter, only his third 20-point half of the playoffs. He's got 20 in the first.
You think he wants to be done with this series? We have that man, and he is carrying this team.
It's a 12-0 run for the Mavericks. 2:23 remaining in the first quarter of Game 5. The Mavericks 30, Minnesota 18 on the Dallas Mavericks. Provided dates and DFW locations to choose from. There's no better way to start your child's summer. Visit Mavs.com/academy today. All right, I know Real Madrid is playing for the Champions League title on Saturday. You think Luka wants to watch that game? Doesn't want to worry about anything else other than that game?
He wants to put his feet up. He had 7 field goals in all of Game 4. He has 8 in the first 10 minutes of Game 5. And he has outscored the Timberwolves 20-18.
Doncic had 6 20-point quarters in the regular season. His high was 23 in the 73-point game against Atlanta. This is his second career 20-point quarter in the playoffs. He had a 21-point quarter against the Warriors in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. Minnesota with the ball, shooting to our left. Towns pitching backward to Edwards. Left elbow pull-up is short against Kleber's challenge, and the rebound off of the hands of Daniel Gafford out of bounds. So the Mavericks with Kleber now into the game, Brian, able to play with those 2 bigs on the floor.
And that is great to see, matching the size of the Warriors, who have Towns in there along with Naz Reid.
Edwards to Towns in the left baseline against Kleber, met by Gafford. Drop it off to Anderson, reversing to Reid, put it on the floor, lost the ball, was tipped away. Going to the floor is Gafford and Reid and Doncic, and it'll be a jump ball.
Minnesota really has no flow offensively. They seem to be just a little bit hyper, putting up some crazy looks. They're just a little too excited here at home. And we'll see how this now even better defense with Maxey and Gafford can be in there.
Minnesota 8 of 25 shooting here in the first quarter. The Mavericks are 12 of 20. So 60% versus 32%. As Gafford and Reid will jump it up. 2.1 seconds on the clock, and Minnesota wins the tip. And Mark Davis trying to get everybody lined up properly around the circle before he steps in and tosses the ball up. And he does. Reid tips it to the sideline, and it'll be Dallas ball. Reid is saying he knocked it off of Gafford's hands, and now John Goldman's going to come over.
It looked like Gafford knocked it out.
Yeah. And they overturn it. It'll be Minnesota's ball, but some time should go off the shot clock because the ball bounced inbounds. But they're not going to do that. From the deep right side, Anderson looking, trying to get it to Edwards, being fronted. They can't get it to him. Now they do on the hash mark against Hardy. And Did he get it away in time? He did not. He hit the shot, but it's too late. And a turnover for Minnesota. It's third. And it'll be Dallas ball, and very well played by Dallas in that out-of-bounds situation.
Their defense has really been a contributing factor in how this Minnesota offense has not been able to get on track.
Doncic against Anderson. In the jump circle, Gafford screen left. Here's the trap by Towns. Picks up the dribble. Trying to get to Gafford at the top of the arc. Right to Hardy. Left-hand dribble now against Towns on the switch. Trying to attack him right to left. Back to his right. He lost the ball. Loose on the floor. Picked up by Alexander Walker. A little too much French pastry. Cross-court pass. Green. Knocked it away. Luka makes the save into Hardy. Hardy back to Luka. He's open for three from the left. And that rims out. The rebound taken by Towns. A minute 25 remaining in the first. The Mavericks 30, Minnesota 18. Anderson spinning, lost the ball. Doncic to the floor. He got the ball to Hardy. His pass blocked by Edwards. Tipped ahead by Gafford to Green. Back to Gafford, and he's fouled. With nobody ever really getting a true handle on the ball for about 60 feet down the floor.
I don't even know how you kept up with that. It was true pinball. It was just tipping it from Gafford, tipping it to Green, tipping it to Luka. It was unbelievable, and Gafford draws the foul. Just absolute intensity here. You know the Mavs want to close this game out, and the Minnesota playing with desperation on their end.
Gafford on the foul line. First one is up and no good. Rattles in and out. It's 59.6% from the foul line in the playoffs as Irving comes back in for Hardy. The Mavericks have made 6 of their last 7 shots. Minnesota has missed its last 7, and also the last 3 times down the floor turned it over, so 10 consecutive possessions for Minnesota without any points at all. A minute 11 remaining in the first quarter. Foul shot by Gafford is good.
13-point lead, take advantage of that, keep that going, close the quarter out strong.
This is the biggest lead the Mavericks have had in the series. Their prior biggest lead was 12 in Game 3. Along the left side, Edwards, turned back by Irving, now played by Kleba. As he pounds the ball, the left wing, he's trying to sidestep Kleba, can't do it, still pounding it, put it on the floor, trying to get to the rim, and he got fouled on his way to the basket. But no movement for Minnesota at all with Edwards just pounding the ball.
You notice Cleveland's overplaying the right. He knows Edwards wants to go to the right hand. He's making him go left. He's making him uncomfortable. That's what's mucking things up for Minnesota.
Gafford's foul is his first. The Mavericks over the limit. And Edwards with a chance to break the schneid, and he does not. He misses the free throw, and they've shot poorly from the floor. They've also been poor from the line. 1 of 4 so far tonight. Minnesota in the series just 70.7%. Second free throw is good. 31-19. In the final 50 seconds of the first quarter, Mavericks can play 2 for 1. Gafford screens, show by Towns, drop it to Gafford, cross-court right Green, ball fake, put it on the floor, back out Luka, 8 to shoot, to his left, again Towns, he's trying to get him, he went around him, lob it up on the no-look, off the board, it came to Gafford and he dunked it, and I dare say, Brian, he threw that off the board on purpose to let Gafford go get it.
Just an amazing high basketball IQ play.
Indeed, the official score gives Doncic credit for an assist rather than a missed shot, and an offensive rebound for Gafford is Reed on the drive. That's no good. Rebound to Kleba, and the final shot of the quarter belongs to the Mavericks.
Gafford with the defensive effort there.
About as close to perfection as you could possibly want in a first quarter of Game 5 of the NBA playoffs. Here's Irving on the drive and hanging with the left and scores it. Kyrie aggressive to the rim. The final second of the quarter, get it into Edwards, and that is it.
Wow, what a statement quarter by the Dallas Mavericks in this road arena again in a Game 5, stepping up, reminiscent of what they did against the Clippers in round 1.
The Mavericks ended Game 2 in this building on a 14-3 run. They end the first quarter tonight on a 17-1 run. And after one, in Game 5, Doncic a 20-point quarter. The Mavericks 35, Minnesota 19 on the Dallas Mavericks. Chuck Cooperstein, Brian Damaris at the Target Center in Minneapolis. A truly performative first quarter from Luka Doncic. 20 points on 8 of 11 shooting and 4 of 6 from 3. to lead the Mavericks to a 35-19 lead as we head to the second, and we pause for station identification on the Dallas Mavericks Radio Network.
KEGL Fort Worth, Dallas.
You know, Brian, you ask your stars to deliver in the high leverage moments. You look at what Luka has done now in these game fives, and we're only through one quarter of this game five, but 35, 7, and 10 against the Clippers, and then 31, 10, and 11 against Oklahoma City in those game fives to help the Mavericks ultimately win in 6.
By the time you get to game 5 of the series, the adjustments are out the window. It's the bet on whose stars are going to step up and carry their team. Luka outscoring Timberwolves 20-19 at first.
Irving at the right wing, try to trap him, drop it to Kleber right wing, back to Kyrie, chest up on by Alexander Walker, 7 to shoot, driving to his right, at the block at the right baseline. He pulls up on a dime and he hits the jumper from 8.
And that is why you have Kyrie Irving on this roster. Luka getting a short rest, and he is aggressive early.
The Mavericks a 37-19 lead. Gobert, top of the arc. Couple of dribbles and holds. Conley comes around left to right. Now back to his left as Exum gets bumped off into the lane. Try to drop it off to Gobert. He fumbles that ball out of bounds, and it'll be the Mavericks' ball.
They continue to try to run their offense through Gobert. I don't understand. He had 7 shot attempts in the first quarter. That was the most on the Timberwolves.
Here comes Kyrie accelerating with his right hand in the lane. Gets it back out. Kleber will take the 3 and knocks it down from the left wing. Maxi Kleber, who looked reluctant to shoot it in game 4, not reluctant at all there.
Yeah, feeling better after that game. Knocked the rust off.
40-19. A 22-1 run by the Mavericks. Here's Conley on the drive. Wild shot with the left. He banked it in. That ball hit above the square and dropped through.
Well, it had to because Lively was there to make it such a difficult shot.
Now Josh Green on the drive. Protected the ball away from McDaniels and got all the way home to score.
He has been playing with energy on both sides of the ball in his minutes here.
42-21. Here is Alexander Walker to Gobert. Gobert around the arc. They weave with McDaniels to the corner. Conley got away from Green to take the 3. That's short. Rebound tipped by Reed out to Conley at the right baseline. Met by Exum. Missed it, but a foul on Dante Exum.
Just a little bit more energy there from Naz Reid as Lively was about to grab that board. And that is 6 offensive rebounds so far for Minnesota.
The Mavericks are 11 of their last 13 from the floor. They're shooting 65%. Brian, this is extremely mindful of Game 7 in Phoenix 2 years ago.
There's just something about playing on the road for Luka, and he takes the team with him, where you get into that bunker mentality. You fly up here. They didn't want to come back to Minnesota. Everybody's talking about, hey, could this be the one time out of 155 times? There's a long way to go in this game. But it's that bunker mentality, and they're showing it to the Minnesota fans, and they've quieted this crowd.
Conley with the first free throw. And one more to come, and he rolls that one home too. (42-23) Exum. Right to left, middle of the floor to Lively, looking for Kyrie, overplayed by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Gets it to Irving, trying to back Alexander-Walker down into the lane. Got fouled going up.
That's the matchup he wanted the whole time, just posting up Alexander-Walker, and he draws the foul. Kyrie huddling up the team. Half with those reserves in there. While
Luka, a few more minutes for him, and Edwards will come back their last 17 possessions. Meanwhile, Minnesota is 1 for its last 11 and throw in 4 turnovers as well.
The Mavs are playing stout defense, making it really hard on Minnesota, and then pushing that pace offensively, getting into the flow, and Luka with his superhuman performance.
Second one by Kyrie is good.
And he's got 8 early.
Those two have combined to outscore Minnesota 28-23. 44-23 overall. Here's Conley in the middle. Played by Kleber on the switch. At the top of the arc. To the right hash mark to Edwards. Screen by Reed. Show by Exum. They double team him. Have to give it up to Reed. Top of the arc for 3. Back rim. No good. Lively the rebound. Here comes Green on the move up the right side. To Kyrie accelerating through a double team. And draws a foul. McDaniels just got called for his 3rd foul.
In foul trouble for Minnesota, rearing its ugly head, and Alex Anderson is going to have to come back into this game. And that, again, is with Gobert in there, is going to just muck things up for their spacing offensively and make it a lot harder for them to play that spacing game, place and space game they want to play.
And they call this on the side. Kyrie was trying to steal a couple of free throws.
He tried a little veteran savvy move, but it didn't work.
Inbound to Lively on the bounce. Green trying to screen for Kyrie as Lively holds it. Will drop it for Green. Pass deflected by Gobert, and the Mavericks turn it over for the fourth time. Here comes Conley. Through the traffic, stepping back to Anderson, left to right to the lane, spinning to his left, and over Cleveland's challenge off the heel of the rim, and Exum, a one-handed rebound for the Mavericks. Had it knocked away from him, but then comes out of there with it as Edwards went for the steal.
Mavericks are letting Anderson take those tough mid-range.
Here comes Exum as Jason Kidd calls out the action to Lively at the top. Kyrie trying to come around, overplayed by Edwards. Lively one bounce and holds. Green cuts through, he was open. Lively didn't see him. Now Kyrie has it, turning left to right on the drive in the lane. High off the glass to score against the shot clock and over the outstretched arm of Gobert.
What a great move by Kyrie inside.
46-23. Edwards pull-up three is good over Exum.
That'll show up on the highlight reel, but they're still down by 20.
To a Lively at the block. To Kyrie, drop it to Lively through the lane. Green, touch it, Cleva, show and go. He traveled as he started to move against Reed.
Lively really not showing any ill effects. He was questionable coming in this game as early as 45 minutes before game time, but he looks just fine.
Washington, along with Jones and Doncic, checking in the game for the Mavericks. Well, they're not going to let Washington check in. They'll have to keep Kleba on the floor.
And even having Maxey back, let's not overlook how well this defense was able to play even without Maxey. Now you add one of your best defenders back into this lineup.
Well, you've seen the switchability of him already tonight, playing out on the perimeter, not letting Minnesota get to where they want to go. Conley, left to right, bounce pass to Towns back in the game. Towns on the drive, met by Lively, changing hands right to left. Nice finish.
That's the aggression Minnesota fans want to see from Towns.
Here comes Luka. Anderson fights over the screen. Second screen from Lively. Gets Luka to the elbow. Met by Gobert. Got around him too. Pulls up from the block and scores as he just pushed it in.
Everybody was worried about Lively, and they just that split second of attention, and he took the shot.
Just put him in the blender again. 48-28. Edwards left to right on the drive and scooping it out to the right corner. Conley met by Lively. Couldn't shoot it. Out to Anderson, who won't shoot it. Left elbow, Towns, pass blocked by Jones. Towns got it back, floats it up, rims in.
These shots are difficult for Minnesota. Everything they're having to earn inside.
48-30. 4.5 gone. Second quarter of game 5. Pick and roll. Lively to the rim and can't finish it. A perfect lead again from Doncic to send Lively to the rim.
And again, Lively looking spry. The ability to play that vertical.
Third. And Derek Lively on the throws, and he has done a ton of work with Derek Lively. He just shoots it, and it has worked.
After those Haka Lively minutes earlier in the playoffs.
49-30. Towns, right wing, on the drive, into Lively, draws the foul on Lively.
Trying to get something.
On 12 of 33.
Fresh 5 minutes of
Towns for Minnesota. 49-32. Here's Kyrie. Left side, bounce pass to the right to Doncic in the middle of the floor. Screen by Gafford, show by Towns. Bounce pass left, Kyrie. Left corner, Jones for three. That's short. The rebound tipped up. Gafford controls it. Got it back out to Kyrie. Touches to Luka, top of the arc. Left to right drive on Anderson. At the dotted line. Spinning. Got back to the foul line. That's short. And the rebound to Reed of Minnesota. The traps have come harder for Minnesota in the second quarter against Luka. Here comes Edwards on the move. He got Kyrie on his hip, and the runner is short. Gafford with a rebound.
And you wonder the defensive intensity that Edwards is having to commit to. Is that going to affect him on the offensive end?
Luka against the trap at the nail to Gafford. Right to Jones. Right wing drive to the rim, and he missed the layup on the double pump. He thought he was fouled. It went through the lane, and it's picked up by Conley. Left to Anderson. He'll drive, and through the lane to the right to Reed. Knocked away by Jones. The steal, and then he lost it on the spin. Reed picks it up. Right corner, Edwards for three. Rims the basket. Luka the rebound. Luka wants the long pass. Mavericks have numbers. Anderson got knocked down. Jones in the right corner for three. Got it.
What a turnaround there. That could have been Minnesota thinking they were getting back into it. It's back to 20.
Edwards, left wing against Kyrie. Screened by Anderson to the left. Edwards goes that way. Now against Gafford. Into the lane. Had to kick it back out. Towns on the move against Washington. Kyrie went for the steal. Couldn't get it. Towns got to the rim and he laid it up and in. And he wanted a foul call and didn't get it.
These refs are letting it go. I like the way they're letting it play. Dallas continuing to make Edwards go left.
52-34, 5:25 remaining. Luka over the head pass. Jones, right corner. Washington for three. That shot blocked by Reed. Taken down by Minnesota and a foul on Derek Jones. Conley came down with a rebound. Jones picks up his first foul and the 13th foul against the Mavericks, which leads to a timeout by the Timberwolves with 5:18 remaining in the first half. And Chris Finch, in the face of official Kevin Scott, wanted to know why there wasn't a foul called for Kyle Anderson on a previous possession. 52-34, Mavericks with the lead in Game 5.
Point one, the Eagle.
Hey, Mavs fans, secure your spot on the Club Maverick wait list for access to season tickets, exclusive events, and playoff perks once available. Multiple plans are offered, so save your spot in line for the ultimate Mavs experience. Join the wait list today at Mavs.com/waitlist. 5:18 remaining in the first half of Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. The Mavericks have led by as many as 23. They lead by 18 right now, 52-34, shooting 60.6%. 6 of 10 shooting, 1 of their last 5. Minnesota is 5 of 10 from the floor. Karl Anthony Towns has scored the last 8 Minnesota points, and he's got 12 in the game.
You know, we saw some playoff history, Chuck.
We did?
With the field goal made by Derek Lively. That's 19 consecutive playoff field goals made. That is a play-by-play era record.
Well, that's right, yes, passing the Birdman.
The Birdman. I did not know Bird. I was going to actually quiz you if you knew who was number 2, and I didn't think you would get Birdman, but of course, the great Chuck Herberstein would know that.
Yes, Chris Anderson of the Denver Nuggets doing it back in 2013. 19 straight, and he had a 12 consecutive field goal streak earlier in the playoffs. Coming into tonight, Lively 65% from the floor in the playoffs. As Conley brings it up from Minnesota, they shoot to our left. Wraparound bounce pass right to Edwards. To Anderson, back to Edwards down the lane, lays it up and in. Nice change of hands right to left.
Yeah, nice ATO call by Finch there, who had an earful for the ref during the timeout.
Tell you what, he called some really nice plays coming out of timeouts. They're really good at it. Here's Luka wide to the right, an offensive foul call on Gafford.
And those are those screens that Chris Finch was talking about in his pregame media villa, but he kept saying illegal screens, illegal screens. Trying to plant a seed in the ref's head, and he got the call.
A lot of times, that's on the ball handler even more than the screener. You got to be able to time that up, and obviously Luka does a really good job of that. But that time, they were not quite in sync as Lively comes right back in to replace Gafford.
And both centers now with 2 fouls with 4:53 to go in the half.
The 4th turnover of the quarter for the Mavericks. They have 6 in the game. Anderson brings it up for the Timberwolves, bounces to Towns. Against Washington, squares him up to his right, protects the ball and scoops it up, no good. And the rebound in traffic taken by Doncic and foul by Kyle Anderson.
And that help defense by Lively is what makes that shot a little bit more difficult for Towns as he's going to the hole, adjusted just enough. When he wasn't in there, the Timberwolves were able to score 11 of 12 inside 8 feet when Gafford and Lively were not in the game.
Kyrie Irving brings it up in the jump circle and hands to Doncic. Lively screens. Here's the trap. Try to get it to Lively. He turns away from Anderson, and Anderson reaches in and fouls him.
And that's 2 quick fouls for the better perimeter defenders.
And that foul puts Minnesota over the limit with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. So Derek Lively back on the line. 1 of 2 a moment ago.
And remember, I mentioned it earlier, that Hack-a-Lively strategy that Daigneault tried of Oklahoma City, and Lively was running, and Kyrie pulled him aside, said, "Stop running. I know you. I believe in you. You can make these." And since then, his free throw shooting has improved, although he misses the first.
52-36 is the Maverick lead.
Mavericks have to keep this pressure on.
Again, prior to tonight, the Mavericks have had only 1 double-digit lead in the first 4 games. with a 12-point lead in Game 3, and Lively splits the free throws.
Yeah, if you look at the total points scored by each team in this series, I mean, it's razor thin.
Mavericks coming in averaging 108, Minnesota 106. Here's Edwards outside the arc, backs up on the dribble, right, and pick and roll with Anderson to the right instead, and Reed for three, way off over the rim, and Lively with the rebound.
Ball never touched the paint on that possession for Minnesota.
Derek Lively already with 5 rebounds here in the first half. Luka against Anderson, bounce pass at the hash mark left, Kyrie against Reed, crossing over right to left, back to his right, to his left, to his right, through the lane to a wide open Washington right corner three is good.
That's why you have those guys stationed in the corners. All that attention paid on Kyrie, and they forgot about P.J. Washington.
Mavericks 7 of 12 from 3 after 14 of 40 in Game 4. And Luka with the steal from behind from Reed in the post. Here comes Luka, top of the arc, right to Kyrie, show and go. And Conley reaches around and knocks it out of bounds to the baseline.
Luka doing it on both ends of the floor. That's 2 steals so far. And you know in postgame he's going to mention those steals. He wants to be second team, as he jokes, all defense.
Kyrie to inbound from the baseline to the right of the basket as Conley leaves the game. Gobert's back in. Inbound to Lively at the right wing, facing up, now turns to his left. Luka being overplayed, dropping to Kyrie. They left him alone. He banks it in from 18 feet at the left wing. 2 went with Luka to try to trap him, and that left Kyrie wide open with nobody around him.
He's got 12, 34 combined for the two of them.
58-36, Edwards left to right, chased by Lively and Jones. Keeps the dribble, now tries to attack and stripped but fouled by Jones.
Making life really difficult for Edwards to find any penetration inside. All those lanes are clogged.
14 fouls against the Mavericks, the second on Jones. And Edwards back to the line. So Anthony Edwards, 10 points, 4 of 9 shooting. Hits the first one. But the Timberwolves shooting just 36%. And the Mavericks shooting 63%.
Their 14 made buckets, only 5 are assisted. They're playing a lot of isolation, one-on-one basketball.
Second by Edwards is good. 58-38. As we come down on 3 minutes to play in the first half of Game 5. Luka turns left off Lively, keeps the dribble, left in the lane, pull up over Edwards is short, underside of the rim, and the rebound taken by Edwards. Against Washington with a show from Luka as well. Bounces from the middle to Reed, right to left away from Jones, left corner Towns, good close out by Kyrie, went around everybody, bounced it out to the foul line, stolen by Washington, behind his back right to left, into Reed, he banks it up, no good, tipped no good by Jones, Reed with a rebound. Here comes Edwards up the left side, crosses left to right to the elbow, right corner, catch and shoot, Towns 3, no good. And Luka with the rebound in Minnesota, now 2 of 11 from behind the three-point line. Luka to Lively, underneath, oh, and he got hammered, got hit in the head.
Oh.
Just what he needed. Just what he needed after that. And Derek Lively is down on the baseline.
And they're going to have to look at that. I don't know that Naz Reid did it on purpose, but that's the last thing that Lively needed, and he is still on the floor in pain.
2:24 remaining in the first half. It's a timeout by the Mavericks, and that will be reviewed. Chris Finch already trying to get into the ear of Mark
he
Davis.
Pops up. Lively pops up, and that is good to see.
This foul will be reviewed for a potential flagrant foul.
And as it is reviewed, let's take the timeout. 2:24 remaining in the first half of Game 5 of the. It's like to be an NBA player at True Maverick Camp from one-on-one coaching with Devin Harris, cruising across town in Lexus TXs with Rolando Blackman, reviewing film with Jason Kidd, to dinner with JJ Barea. This is one experience you can't miss. Visit Mavs.com/TMC today. So the replay confirms that Naz Reid committed a flagrant 1 foul on Derek Lively. So Lively will shoot. And the Mavericks will get the ball back. Foul shot on the way and no good off the right of the rim.
Yeah, there was a wind-up and contact with the head. The good news, Lively back on the court. The doctor came out, looked at him, cleared him, and he is ready to go.
Second one by Lively is good. And so the Mavericks will have the ball And for the first time in the series, Chris Finch brings in Jordan McLaughlin.
That's got to be some kind of, in case of emergency, break glass. Their bench, 0 points so far in this game. He's looking for something.
McLaughlin is fifth year out of USC, just 2 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 4 from 3 in these playoffs. As Irving and inbound on the bounce for Lively. Back to Kyrie, right wing. McLaughlin and Anderson try to trap him. Kyrie goes to his left, fades away from Anderson, and he hits it from just below the dotted line. And a 10-point quarter for Kyrie, and it's 61-38. Coming down on 2 minutes to play, Anderson right in the lane, behind him to Edwards. Kick it left corner, and McLaughlin is left alone, and it's no good on the weak side. Anderson, and it's knocked away by Lively, and picked up by Washington. Here comes Luka up the middle. Luka into the lane. Luka right corner. Jones gets by Anderson. Back out Luka. Right in the circle. 3. Good.
Luka with 25. Minnesota playing with an interesting lineup of 3 guys that you can basically sag off of offensively right now.
64-38, 12-2 run for the Mavericks. Their biggest lead of the night with a minute and a half remaining. McLaughlin along the baseline, right to left. Anderson back out to McLaughlin, left wing. Drives on Luka in the lane. Runner short. Rebound Lively. Lost it to McLaughlin. Now picked up by Doncic. Ahead to Kyrie as the Mavericks look for the kill here at the end of the half. Luka in the jump circle against McLaughlin. McLaughlin knocks it away from him as Luka turned, and a wry smile from Luka.
What was the deficit in the Phoenix game 7 at half?
It was 30. It was 57-27.
We are at 26 right now.
Yeah, Luka had more points than the entire Phoenix team at halftime.
And right now, Luka and Kyrie are combined for 39. Minnesota has 38.
Inbound to Gafford, is checked back in for Lively. To Luka, now Kyrie right wing against McLaughlin. Above the break, couple of jab steps, will take the 3, and he hits it!
Both superstars are now 17 of 26. They were shot 33% combined in game 4.
67-38, 15-2 run for the Mavericks to end the quarter. A 17-1 run in the first quarter to end the quarter. Anderson will take a right corner 3 and make it. Call it a 2 for Anderson. Say his foot was on the line. 67-41. Luka behind his back, left to right, stop and go. In the lane, pumps, back out Kyrie. Right to left on Edwards, and with the left hand, draws the foul. And there's Edwards with the palms up, wondering what he did. The first on Edwards.
The 2 superstars carrying this team in this first half. Thunder and lightning, as Mark Followell calls it, fire and ice. And a chance to get up to 69 points in this first half.
They scored 44 between them in game 4. If Kyrie makes both of these, they'll have 44. He hits the first one.
They both put it on themselves after game 4. They weren't good enough. Luka put it, said his energy wasn't there. You knew he was going to come out strong. Kyrie has joined him.
So Kyrie looking for his 15th point of the quarter after Doncic had a 20-point first quarter. Try to make it a 29-point game, and he does. 69-40. This is an angry team that came to Minnesota, and the Timberwolves have never known what hit them. Did not get the license plate of that Mack truck. Down to 15 seconds. Here's Edwards against Jones on the drive. Kick it back out to the right corner to Anderson, to Towns with 2 on the clock. To Anderson, fakes the shot, and that gives it up for a 24-second violation.
They don't even get a shot off on this possession. There's still 6 seconds for the Mavs to try to do something.
And to say the natives are restless would be the grossest of understatements. Inbound to Doncic. He'll bring it up. Will he try one from half court? He will, for the heck of it, and it's off the right of the rim. No good as the horn sounds to end the first half. Woo! The home team being booed off its floor as the Mavericks, halfway to the NBA Finals for the 3rd time, put up 69 in the first half. A combined 44 from Doncic and Irving, as many as they had in the entire game on Tuesday in Game 4. The Mavericks shoot 61%, Minnesota shoots 35%, and the Timberwolves never knew what hit them.
No, the experience has played a factor. The Mavericks have been there, had their heartache. They come into this gym. Game 5s consistently during these playoffs have been a factor. It's not over yet. There's still a half of basketball to play.
You've got your foot on the throat. Now you just have to simply go crush them. Halftime of Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. A dominant, virtuoso performance by Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. They combined, as we mentioned, for 44 points on 17 of 27 shooting. The Mavericks again shoot 61% as a team, and they lead the Minnesota Timberwolves 69-40. Kevin Gray at the Modelo Sports Desk with highlights from the first half and the rest of the day in the NBA and in sports coming your way next on the Dallas Mavericks radio. Exactly the play the Mavericks wanted to run coming out of the timeout. They could not have run it more perfectly. Here's Towns in the right wing above the break. He's trapped, drop it off Gobert, right block through the lane. And here's Conley on the drive up top for Gobert, makes the catch and scores as Conley able to throw it over Luka's outstretched arm, and Gobert able to catch and finish.
Luka thought he got pushed. He was trying to do what he did earlier in the series, which was tip.
Right wing Kyrie at the hash mark to his left, bounce past Luka at the left hash mark. He'll try to drive on Edwards. Towns reached in. Luka goes up and gets fouled by Edwards, obviously frustrated.
Yeah, now that Minnesota's pressing on offense, they're reaching on defense. Methodically, Luka getting to where he wants to go, and Edwards has to foul him.
In the conference finals, Doncic 31.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, 9 assists. 25, 5, and 4 tonight. First foul shot here is good. And I tell you one thing else, Brian, that Luka has done here in the playoffs, and he is making his free throws.
He is, and he's also showing the national audience that he might be the best player in the NBA. A lot of talk about Ant coming into this series being the next Michael Jordan, the way he's coming, the new face of the league. Luka saying, not so fast. I'm here.
Doncic averaging 28.3 throughout the playoffs, 81% from the foul line, and hits both free throws. 27 for Doncic, 20 of them coming in the first quarter, and it's 73-42. Edwards to his right at the elbow. Finds Gobert, really wasn't ready for the pass, and then he threw it away as he and Conley were all discombobulated.
Yeah, I mean, Gobert shouldn't be at the three-point line. He's just mucking things up with their spacing. They are all out of sorts offensively.
Doncic diagonally to his left, just over the line against Edwards. Now Towns comes over to help. Solid Spain screen by Gafford. Luka in the lane. Floater good. And a timeout by Chris Finch, and absolutely no effort defensively from Minnesota, and the fans are letting the Timberwolves know exactly how they feel.
And Kyrie's telling everybody, don't get too high. Keep it going, keep it going. That's that veteran leadership from somebody who's been there and done that.
10:37 remaining in the third quarter of Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. The Mavericks 70 action at Mavs.com/playoffs. The Mavericks hoping this is the final game of the Western Conference Finals and that they would be back in the American Airlines Center for Games 3 and 4 of the NBA Finals on June 12th and 14th.
What a way to start the second half, continuing to apply that pressure. Minnesota discombobulated on both ends of the floor. Luka having his way. He's now up to 29, 5, and 4.
On 11 of 17 shooting and 5 of 8 from 3. And his continued mastery of performances after a loss, and certainly in performances in Game 5 of the playoffs this year.
In critical games on the road, he has produced against the Clippers, the Thunder, and now tonight against Minnesota.
Minnesota's ball as we resume. And Mike Conley will bring it up for the Timberwolves. They shoot to our right. Played by Kyrie through the center circle. To Anthony Edwards outside the arc. To the right wing. Right corner McDaniels. Through the lane right to left. It gets to the elbow and he hits the jumper over Doncic.
Those are still difficult shots. Those are long-range, mid-range shots.
Luka just over the line on the left. Hooks it to a wide-open Kyrie from the left wing for three. It's short. He chases his own rebound down. Tipped it to Washington. And out to Luka for a reset. Against Towns. Stop and go. Drags right. Behind him to Jones. Back to Luka, right wing, fakes the pass, in low for Gafford, pumps those up, foul by Rudy Gobert. It's like, whatever he wants. Does he want to shoot it? Okay. Do I want to no-look pass it? Okay. Do I just want to put it on the floor, make something happen? Okay.
If you drop him, he's going to go to mid-range. If you switch, he's going to step back into the three. If you trap him, he's going to find the open man and advantage basketball. And it's a virtuoso, you said it, as a musician, it's a virtuoso performance.
Gafford on the line to shoot after Gobert's first foul. And the second against Minnesota. First one is good as we pause for station identification on the Dallas Mavericks radio network. First foul. And the second against Minnesota. First one is good as we pause for station identification on the Dallas Mavericks radio network.
KEGL Fort Worth, Dallas.
And one more coming for Daniel Gafford. Mavericks free throw shooting has been excellent in this series. 82.4% on nearly 24 attempts.
Remember, this was a team in Game 4 of the Oklahoma City series that went 12 of 23 from the free throw line.
And shot 66% in that series. Sensational in this series. Here is Towns on the drive, trying to stuff it, and a late whistle by Kevin Scott against Daniel Gafford's block attempt. That'll put Karl Anthony Towns on the free throw line with 9:49 remaining in the third.
And the Mavericks bench looking to see if they want to challenge it. And no, they are not going to.
Markieff Morris pointing out he got him on the wrist.
Morris is the unofficial assistant to the replay coordinator. He was the one that made that key challenge earlier in the series when we were in here in games 1 and 2. I think it was the game 2 that telling Jason Kidd to make that challenge call on the tip out.
First free throw by Towns is good. He came alive in game 4 in the second half, 20 of his 25 in the second half, but that's really all that he's been able to affect the series. With 2 free throws made, 77-46. Doncic off the stagger, splits it, picks up the dribble at the top of the arc, bounces left to Kyrie. Play by Edwards. That's a nail. Gafford comes and gets it. Chest pass left to Washington. 8 to shoot on the drive. Met by Gobert. Forced it up. Gobert got a piece of it. Towns comes down with the ball. To Conley up the left side. To the trailing Towns. He'll take the 3 over Washington. That's short. Gafford with a rebound.
Yeah, it's a contested 3. Washington out of hand of space.
Here is Kyrie right to left. Turns the corner and pulls up from 10 from the baseline. Too hard off the back rim. Gobert with a rebound. Here comes Edwards. Diagonally to his right, dragging left. Kyrie fell down, pulls up from the foul line, and that falls out. Luka with his 6th rebound. Outlet left to Irving. Long pass for Gafford. The catch underneath the basket, not in a shooting position. Back out Luka, touch it right. Extra pass from Washington Jones. Back to Washington, late closeout. 3-pointer for P.J. Washington. The late closeout from Mike Conley, not nearly good enough.
Great ball movement there offensively. Washington now with 12.
80-46. The biggest lead for the Mavericks is Towns on the drive. Blocked by Gafford. Towns got it back. He missed the follow. Gafford the rebound. Here comes Luka. Mavericks putting the foot on the throat of the Timberwolves right now. Cross court Kyrie. Back out to Luka at the bottom of the jump circle. And Luka, bounce pass, and that's stolen by Mike Conley. Tried to get it to Jones at the foul line. To the left, McDaniels. Left corner, Towns over Washington for 3. Short rebound, Gafford.
The Mavs will slow it down with this kind of lead.
Here comes Irving. They try to trap him. Lob to Jones. Met by Gobert. Back out to Luka. Put it on the floor. Left to right on McDaniels. Gets in him and draws the foul. Hits the shot. 3-point play chance for Doncic.
And he is having conversations with the crowd. That is vintage Luka in the pick and roll game. Gets his defender up in the air, and once McDaniels was up in the air, he bodied right into him and won.
I tell you, Luka has loved when McDaniels has played him one-on-one. McDaniels is considered one of the better defenders with second-team All-NBA defense this year, but he can't guard Luka. Once Luka gets you on his hip the way he did there, it's done.
It's done, and that's why you saw in Game 4 the adjustment of putting Anthony Edwards on him and putting McDaniels with that length on Kyrie Irving. They've tried pretty much everything defensively to stop Luka, and this is why coaches stay up late wondering how you defend him.
Missed the foul shot. Rebound off the hands of Derek Lively, checking the game for Daniel Gafford. That's his in and his out. Brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger's all about. Gobert behind him. McDaniels for three. He hits it from the top of the arc. The Mavericks 82. The Timberwolves 49. 7:35 remaining in the third quarter of Game 5. Lucas spins left. Top of the arc. Pull up over McDaniels for three. That's short. And the rebound to Edwards. Here comes Edwards, screen at half court by Gobert. Edwards will pull up for three, and he hits it.
6 in a row now for the Timberwolves. Try to get a solid play here offensively.
15 for Edwards, and a foul on McDaniels in the backcourt.
That's going to be 5.
5 fouls on Jaden McDaniels. Just trying to get into Luka, and Mark Davis saying you used too much of your hip and your knee.
Yeah, Luka's been trying to hunt those all series long.
Irving against Alexander Walker. He's now checking the end. Kyrie to his right. Crosses over, pulls up from the right elbow, rattles it in from 18.
Don't forget about me, says Kyrie. He is 8 of 14 with 21.
84-52. Edwards driving on Jones, pulls up, takes the shot, looking for the give and go. Not there. McDaniels will take the three. It's no good. Rebound, tipped by Towns, blocked by Lively. Towns got it back and put it up and in.
McDaniels staying in the game with those 5 fouls.
A good effort by Karl Anthony Towns after the block shot by Lively. 84-54, Kyrie right wing against Alexander Walker. Step back, three-pointer, down it goes. 24 for Kyrie. The Mavericks now 10 of 19 from behind the line, 59% for the game, 87-54. Here is Edwards to his left, pull up three is good. Outside the arc, left of the circle.
Edwards getting hot with his last 2 from deep.
Minnesota with its 4th three-pointer of the game. 4 of 17. Here's Kyrie again, top of the arc. That's off the left of the rim. High rebound. Lively knocked it away, and then Jones knocked it off of the leg of Edwards out of bounds, and it'll be Dallas ball as Reed and Anderson come back in for Minnesota with Gobert and McDaniels going to the bench.
And that was Lively's activity there, keeping that possession alive, and it'll be Dallas ball.
Josh Green checks in for the Mavericks for Derek Jones. Baseline right inbound for Irving with 14 to shoot. Into Lively, back out to half court to Luka. Here comes Lively to screen right, screen rejected. Luka to the left to Josh Green for a catch and shoot three off the right of the rim. And Towns with his 9th rebound. To Edwards. He'll pull up for three again, and he got it again.
That's 3 in a row where he's just pulled up in 3, and Kid wants to talk about it.
Anthony Edwards now at 21. And the one-time 36-point lead for the Mavericks is down to 27 with 5:41 remaining in the third.
About this run the Mavericks been on, they have not had home court advantage in any of these 3 series, and they've quieted crowds in every single series.
17 for Karl Anthony Towns. Kyrie, left hash mark, screen by Lively, on the move against Towns, pulls up on the dotted line, floater off the back rim, Towns the rebound. And here comes Edwards up the middle. Screen by Reed. Edwards keeps the dribble against Washington. Sidestep right, off balance three-pointer. That is short and bounces over the top of the backboard and hits the stanchion. And it will be Mavericks ball.
And he's trying to do pretty much everything for this Minnesota offense. As you mentioned, the role players just haven't been effective.
Well, they haven't even really tried to involve the role players all that much. It's been a lot of isolation basketball tonight for Minnesota. Luka drop it to Lively, right elbow. Washington touch it. Kyrie, left corner three is short. And on the weak side, Towns grabs the rebound. He's got the double-double, 17 points and 10 rebounds. Towns will take the three and knock it down outside the arc, left of the circle.
Well, we know he can hit those. He hit 3 key ones at the end of last game.
89-64. 4 minutes remaining in the third. Luka diagonally to his left. Now trying to get right, being trapped by Anderson, and Towns had it knocked away. Towns has the ball, runs up the right side with it, and from the corner over Lively off the left of the rim, and Kyrie with the rebound. An air ball from Towns. Luka, chest pass to Washington, right corner through the lane. Green out to Luka, down the lane, up top, Lively, pass off the mark. Off his left hand, picked up by the Timberwolves. Towns at the other end, got to the rim, laid it up and in. All the nice feed from Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yeah, and he wanted to foul on Irving. Good, no call there. rare bad pass by Luka on that alley-oop attempt with Lively.
That's a 20-7 run now for Minnesota, and Towns with 10 in the quarter and 22 in the game. 89-66. Doncic, wide right, chased by Reed and Edwards to Lively. Left to Kyrie, open for three, got it!
That's advantage basketball. Find the open guy, and Kyrie knocks down above the wing. He's got 29, 60 combined for the Superstars.
And he has the last 10 Maverick points. 92-66. Edwards against Green. In and out to his right. To the right of the lane, will hang, and it rolls off the rim. Doncic the rebound, his 7th. Bounces to Kyrie, up the left side, pulls up from deep. That's off the left of the rim and a foul line rebound to Anderson. Here comes Kyle Anderson up the right side. Trying to get it to Reed. Mismatch with Kyrie. Right to left, into the lane, and stepping through and scores with a foul and a chance at a three-point play. Kyrie thought he was going to get some help. That didn't come. And a three-point play chance for Naz Reid.
Yeah, that was a mistake by Lively there. He has to come over and help him when the mismatch is there. Come hard. You know that's going to be the play.
As Lively picks up the foul, that's his 3rd, and the 3rd team foul against the Mavericks. Oh, excuse me, the foul is on Kyrie.
Yeah, Lively's still with 3.
Right. Lively still with 3. Kyrie with his 2nd. And Reed very quiet the last 2 games. And he finally scores tonight with 2.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. He had only 6 in game 4, but prior to that, averaged 15 in the first 3 games. Jaden Hardy in the game, catch and shoot 3, good, as he comes in to replace Kyrie and does what Kyrie does.
They're going to keep giving him those shots in advantage basketball.
95-69. Alexander Walker on the drive. Left-hand layup, no good. Lively, his 7th rebound. Here comes Doncic as we come down on 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Wide to the right on Towns. Trying to turn the corner, then crosses over. Keeps the dribble with 10 to shoot as he measures him with 8 to shoot. And 7 and 6 at the foul line, trying to draw the foul. Instead, left corner Green for 3, and Green is fouled shooting the three-pointer. And as a result, will shoot 3 times. Alexander Walker commits the foul.
Yeah, the one-on-one, Luka with Karl Anthony Towns, finally that just the way he can accelerate and decelerate, puts him on his hip, draws that defense in, kick out for wide open look, and we're going to have a review here on this foul call.
Chris Finch is going to challenge this call with 1:47 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Stunning here in Minnesota tonight. The Mavericks 95, Minnesota 69 on the Dallas Mavericks radio network. Jones makes it 99-73. Off the stagger left to right. Edwards against Jones and Gafford. Over the top to Anderson. He'll try another left corner 3, and he got that one.
That is what Ant likes to do when he's caught in traffic over there. He whips it to the other corner.
It's just amazing how slow the release is for Kyle Anderson. Again, he was a 22% shooter during the regular season from 3. Left corner Washington. To Gafford, top of the circle, pivots. Bounce pass right to Kyrie, 10 to shoot. Gafford screen left, Kyrie pick and roll with Gafford. Then finds Washington for a wide open left wing 3, short, and the rebound taken down by Gobert. Cannot get a better shot than that.
Yeah, great job by Gafford to suck that defense in.
Edwards behind his back, left to right, pull up right elbow, hits it. That's exactly what he wants to do.
That's what he did in game 4.
23 for Edwards. 99-78. Irving right to left on the drive in the lane, and that's rejected by Edwards beyond the arc. Run down by Exum. Got it to Washington, still 10 to shoot. Washington on the drive to Gafford, and will put it up and in over Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, great job by Exum to save that. That was going the other direction.
101-78. Anderson to Reed. Left to right, down the lane, up top for Gobert, and he had it knocked out of his hands by Washington. Now to Exum, left to Kyrie, left to right, dribble to the nail, laid off to Washington. Reverse no good. Kyrie tips it in front of the rim.
Great teamwork by the two of them, and Finch wants to talk about it.
A timeout by Minnesota. Another game in which Luka and Kyrie go for 30-plus together. The 3rd time in this series that they've done it. They've combined for 64 tonight. Doncic with 33, Irving with 31, with 9:36 remaining in the 4th quarter of Game 5. It's the Mavericks 103, the Timberwolves 78 on the Dallas Mavericks.
Vertical guys and rim protectors now for 48 minutes with Gafford, and you had the best kind of four you needed, a stretch four who could absolutely play dogged defense in P.J. Washington.
2 free throws for Gafford, who had an excellent series coming into tonight, averaging nearly 11 points and 8 rebounds, and that's exactly what he has tonight. As Edwards on the drive, he finds Anderson in the lane for the floater that's around and down over Gafford. 105-80.
Luka stays on the bench. If they can keep this up, maybe he can rest the whole time.
Here comes Exum on the run, right to left through the lane. Challenged by Edwards, ball knocked away. Kyrie runs it down in half court with 10 to shoot against McDaniels. Playing with 5 fouls, Gafford screens. Kyrie on the drive, offensive foul on Gafford.
And those are the screens that Chris Finch was talking about pregame that he wanted to keep putting into the refs' minds.
But that became academic.
Yeah.
Very, very early in this game, it became academic.
5 fouls on Gafford.
Reed pulls up from the middle of the lane. No good. Gafford the rebound. That's 9 for him.
And the air is out of this building, Chuck.
Now it's been out of the building for a while, quite frankly, as Kyrie with 10 to shoot. Sidestep left for 3 and hits it over Karl Anthony Towns.
And he's got 34 in this game. He says, Luka, you got 33. I'll just score 34.
67 combined. 108-80. Edwards leans in, banks it home, foul. And a chance at a three-point play. Derek Jones gets called for the foul.
You know, Chuck, in these kinds of games, especially late in the series, especially late in the playoffs, especially Game 5, there's no more adjustments. The role players need to do what they do effectively, but it's the superstars who really make the difference. And for Luka and Kyrie to step up with each over 33 points, that's why you're 7 minutes away from going to the finals.
They are 26 of 44, 59% between the two of them tonight. 108-83 after the free throw by Edwards, giving him 26. He and Towns both with 26 for Minnesota. Exum left wing against Anderson's 5 to shoot. And he'll try to drive him and scoop it off the floor, hit the heel of the rim. Anderson the rebound, ahead to Edwards, up the middle to the top of the arc. Met by Washington and Lively, now backs up on the dribble. Stop and go, gets by Washington, got to the rim, laid it in.
The numbers game now. Try to use as much as the clock, but still getting effective shots. Kyrie still hasn't crossed. Okay, now he's crossed the half-court line.
Here's Kyrie against Anderson. Take it off the floor against him, back it too hard. Weak side rebound, Lively, and a foul on Naz Reid, who has had a most forgettable night tonight. 1 of 8 shooting.
And that is 8 rebounds for Lively. The offensive rebounds, you were missing that in Game 4 as well. And another thing to mention, Chuck, now with Maxey coming in Game 4, Lively now, thankfully, only missing that 1 game. You're a healthy squad going forward.
And you can get healthier in a week. As Doncic is back in the game.
And the other thing to keep in mind in the finals, there's only 1 game between 3 and 4 that has 1 day off. Otherwise, it's 2 days off of rest.
Doncic left to right, top of the circle. 6 to shoot against Towns. 5 will shoot over Towns for 3. Banked it in! Of course he did! Because it's been that kind of night.
The bank is open 24 hours in Minnesota. He does the Michael Jordan shrug as he runs back the other way.
111-85. 6:40 remaining. Edwards. Bounce pass left. Reed passes up the 3. He'll get it to McDaniels in the left corner. That's good.
Kyle Anderson with that flare screen again to get him open. They've been doing that effectively, really effective in Game 4.
Derek Jones spinning left to right, back to his left. McDaniels making him work to get it across the line. Picks up the dribble, bounces to Irving. Left of the circle. Lively comes up and gets it. Challenged by Reed. Back out to Kyrie with 8 to shoot. They try to trap him wide to the right. Turns the corner on Reed. Got to the rim for an easy layup.
And neither Luka or Kyrie is giving up. They have 72 combined points each with 36.
What a performance in a closeout game again. Kyrie about to be 15-1 in closeout games. 113-88. Edwards challenged by Washington. Too much challenge from Washington.
It's only PJ's second foul of the game. Really effective on the defensive end, as well as his 12 points and 7 boards he's been able to add.
2 team fouls against the Mavericks. Listen, this game was over in the first quarter. Literally, you rarely, if ever, see that in an NBA game. But it happened tonight at the highest possible level.
We were expecting the punch to be thrown by Minnesota at home in a game that they had to have, and it was Dallas who threw the first punch. And Minnesota really, like Mike Tyson, you have a plan until you get punched. They didn't have a plan for the punch back.
As the floor being cleaned up before McDaniels inbounds the ball with 5:49 to play. Mavericks 15 of 31 from 3, shooting 55% for the game after just 42%. Overall, 35% in game 4. Here's Reed against Luka, taking right, turning left, got 5, and the floater banked in over Derek Lively. Nice finish by Naz Reid.
Luka will walk it up, try to use as much time as we can now with this 23-point lead.
Played by Anderson. Lively comes up the screen. Luka turns, met by Reed to Lively, right to Kyrie. Deep 3 from the right, hits the front rim, and the rebound taken by Edwards of Minnesota. Here comes Edwards against Derek Jones. Stop and go dribble got by Jones, met by Lively and Luka through the lane of the right corner, and Reed for 3. That's an air ball over the top, comes down to Towns, and he's fouled.
Keep a defensive intensity. Minnesota has to basically score every time down the court now.
Minnesota 9 of 27 from behind the line. They're shooting 42% tonight.
And you're seeing Ernie Johnson walk towards the court. And you know what that means, Chuck.
I do know what that means. And I think the folks in the back area of the Target Center,
they think we're going to have some trophy presentations. Everybody should stay tuned. We're going to carry everything right here.
First one by Towns is good. And the second also good. So 28 for Towns, 113-92. 5 minutes remaining in the Western Conference Finals. Doncic to his right off Lively, to the elbow. Stop and go. Leaning in, trying to draw the foul. Didn't get the call off the left of the rim. And looked at Mark Davis, but gets back on defense as the rebound taken down by Towns. To Edwards against Jones. Has to bring the ball out to Reed at the top. He drives down the lane to the right corner, threw it away. They'll say the ball tipped. Say Doncic tipped it. Doncic took a shot in the face.
And I think it's still going to be Minnesota ball.
Jason Kidd not happy about that. He's going to challenge this.
It's challenging because they want to see if there's some kind of flagrant.
Yeah. 4:34 remaining.
It's a shoulder from Cat into Luka's face.
4:34 remaining. Fourth quarter, Game 5. Mavericks that far away from their third trip to the Western Conference Finals. They lead
Dallas
the
called a
Timberwolves.
timeout to challenge the out-of-bounds decision awarded to Minnesota.
113-92 on the Dallas Mavericks radio network. In NBA playoff history, Magic Johnson had a 28-game streak, and LeBron James and Oscar Robertson had a 21-game streak, and that's over multiple seasons. In a single season, Luka now with 17 such games in a row. Magic had a 28-game run in 1987. Luka was 16, and Larry Bird also had 16. I should say 18 for Magic. 18 for Magic, 16 for Bird, and 16 now for Doncic.
And you see Luka and Kyrie with a really big hug on the sideline as the subs are put in for both teams. And you can't say enough about that partnership. A year ago, everybody was saying it wasn't working. And for those two to just sharpening iron, making each other better, the leadership that Luka shows on the court, Kyrie's maturity and off-the-court leadership, and what he's done to make each other better players. You just can't say enough about how that has led this team to the finals.
72 combined points tonight on 28 of 49 shooting. Here's McLaughlin underneath the basket. Out to Josh Minott, making his first appearance in the series. A layup at the left of the rim is no good. It's Dwight Powell with a rebound for the Mavericks. Here comes Green on the run. Up the middle, hooks it left corner. A.J. Lawson for 3. hits the front rim, hits the front rim again, and then bounces away and into the hands of Leonard Miller. Second round draft choice, played with G League Ignite last year. Here's Luka Garza, the one-time College Player of the Year out of Iowa, able to lay it up and in.
When you look, Chuck, at this roster, the top 6 players, 5 of them are new to this team from just 14 months ago. The job Nico Harrison, Michael Finley, Matt Riccardi, and Andrew Baker have done is absolutely amazing to take a team that didn't make the play-in last year to the finals a year later.
Here is McLaughlin, in and out to his right. Now Minot will try a three-pointer, banked it, missed it, Exum the rebound with 1:50 remaining. 119-94. Mavericks led by as many as 36. Doncic 20 of his 36 in the first quarter. To put it away is Jaden Hardy, hits a pull-up jumper from the foul line.
And that is a person who is going to stay in the playoff rotation going forward.
Tell you what, he's done some growing up here over these last 7 games or so that he's been in the rotation. Luka Garza over Dante Exum, and he hits. Luka Garza, the National Player of the Year at Iowa.
And the hugs are starting to spread around the bench area of the Mavericks.
They're bouncing. They're bouncing on that bench, and there's a foul outside and an offensive foul against the Mavericks.
And the beauty of having a week is that you can celebrate it for a day, a night, enjoy it tonight, and then there's still a lot of work to do.
McLaughlin will bring it up. Drive on Dwight Powell, pull up from the block, missed it, but following it up is Garza.
And the Mavericks fans starting to make their presence felt, the ones who braved the weather and got up here for this Game 5.
Powell to the right, Exum up top for Powell, and he slams it through.
Powell joins the lob party.
First basket for Dwight Powell in these playoffs. 123-98. Wendell Moore from the baseline, the right of the lane, able to score. The final 40 seconds. Exum. Well, playground basketball here at the end of the game as Lawson is fouled by Moore, and he'll go to the line with 35.7 seconds left.
How fitting that these 2 superstars.
Him right now, he is just so happy.
Now, going a short period of time, this team continues to not lose consecutive games now for 86 straight days.
Moore banks it in outside the arc from the right of the circle with 29 seconds to go. And the Mavericks with one more chance to score if they want. There's really no need to do it, as Hardy's going to hold the ball. Now push it to Exum at the right sideline, just over the midcourt line with 7 to shoot. And he'll hold on to the ball and he'll take the violation. And that will happen with 5 seconds to go, as McLaughlin will throw it in. Wendell Moore will bring it up. He'll take one final shot. It's no good. The horn sounds, and for the 3rd time in Dallas Mavericks franchise history, spanning 44 years, the Mavericks will play for the NBA championship, winners of the Western Conference, and winning it convincingly tonight in Game 5, 124-103.
A dominating performance by your superstars Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, knocking down the 1 seed, the 3 seed, and the 4 seed in the process of getting to these finals. And it is going to be a whale of a series starting a week from tonight against Boston. They're going to have a chance to celebrate this tonight. There's going to be a Western Conference Player of the Series announced here very shortly.
I think we know who that is.
Yeah, I think we do as well. And hopefully in a couple of weeks, he'll have a couple of more trophies to hold in his hand. But the super
raced Rudy Gobert down the floor. 22-18. Dallas leads by 4. Here's Conley off the Gobert screen. Michael keeps himself. They're running up off the glass. It hangs on the rim. It wouldn't drop. Rudy battling for the rebound. Couldn't squeeze it. Knocked free. Josh Green pokes it out to midcourt. Kyrie's got it. Now into the hands of the man who had the #1 usage rate in the NBA in the regular season, Luka Doncic. Free throw line extended jumper on the way is nothing but net. It does not look like Luka Doncic is messing around tonight. He's 6 of 8 shooting. He's got 14 points. In fact, the rest of the team is just 4 for 10. Luka 6 of 8. Towns against P.J. Washington had better success against P.J. in game 4, and he gets fouled here, backing his way into the paint. Foul on the floor, says Mark Davis. Sideline out of bounds for Minnesota. Boy, what an energetic start to this game. It hangs on the rim, it wouldn't drop. Rudy battling for the rebound, couldn't squeeze it. Knocked free. Josh Green pokes it out to midcourt. Kyrie's got it. Now into the hands of the man who had the #1 usage rate in the NBA in the regular season, Luka Doncic. Free throw line extended jumper on the way is nothing but net. It does not look like Luka Doncic is messing around tonight. He's 6 of 8 shooting. He's got 14 points. In fact, the rest of the team is just 4 for 10. Luka 6 of 8. Towns against P.J. Washington had better success against P.J. in game 4, and he gets fouled here, backing his way into the paint. Foul on the floor, says Mark Davis. Sideline out of bounds for Minnesota. Boy, what an energetic start to this game.
So Naz Reid checks in for Karl Anthony Towns. Nickeil Alexander-Walker comes back in for Mike Conley. Kyrie's down. Derek Lively's down. So Gafford back into the game. Look for him to be setting screens everywhere.
And up top, 3:43 left to go in the first. He'll drift to his left. He's picked up by Doncic. Left-handed dribble, drives in, hangs, shot off the front of the rim. No, he got sandwiched between Jaden Hardy and Daniel Gafford. Here's Hardy on the move, taking Naz Reid right to the rim, hangs on the kick out. He finds P.J. Washington. His pass in the paint is deflected by who else? Kyle Anderson. Here's Naz up into the front court. Naz sees the lane, drives in, gets to the cup, way too strong off the glass. Rudy just out-muscles everybody for the rebound. His putback comes up short.
He's got to throw that out, Allen. Too many white jerseys in the painted area. Guys wide open on the perimeter.
Really frenetic play right now from both sides.
Settle down.
24 to 18. Wolves are down by 6. Logo 3 for Luka. Oh my goodness. He drains it. Nothing but net. His third 3 in 4 attempts, and they've all been from 28 feet or further. That one, he had a foot on the logo. Ant with it up top. 12 on the shot clock. Dancing off the Rudy screen to his right, to his left. Now back to the right. Bounce pass. Rudy rolls down the lane. Kick out Nickeil. In the corner. Kyle pump fakes the 3. Back to Nickeil. He'll try an angle triple. That's off the back iron. No good. Nickeil is 0 for 9 on his above the break threes in this series. 3 for 7 from the corners. Dallas 9-0. Luka trying to add to it. He does a straightaway 3. He just looks over at the crowd. Luka Doncic has scored 20 points in 10 minutes of play. Timeout Minnesota. Dallas on this 12-0 run now leads by 12. After the Wolves to get it back to even, Luka just pushes it right back to double digits. 2:23 left to go in the opening quarter. Dallas in front of Minnesota 30 to 18 in game 5. Already up 3 games to 1 on the Timberwolves radio network.
It actually could help with PJ and D. Jones about just being able to get their minutes down.
Well, Derek Lively makes a huge difference for the Mavs, but Luka Doncic is leading the way. Jim, how are you defending Luka Doncic when he's hit already a couple of 30-footers? Well, 3 from beyond 28 feet. That's a whole nother range.
You can't guard the guy from ludicrous range. I mean,
Yes.
you got to, but it's all the other stuff, though. He's able to move and do whatever he wants, and then on the other end of the floor, they do not run him around as much as they need to. You can't take quick shots. You got to get Luka involved in the actions, put him through the paces a little bit. You got to tire him out.
Kyle Anderson will bring it up. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, and Naz Reid on the floor. Rudy sits down. He's taken more shots than any other player on the floor for Minnesota. And pull-up elbow jumper, no. Boy, that shot goes off Gafford across the baseline. I guess he touched it. I thought that might be Dallas basketball, but John Goebel says otherwise.
The funny thing is that, Luka has torched Minnesota's 2 best defenders on him. Kyle 3 of 5, Ant 3 of 3. So
off the inbound, Cat drives baseline, kicks out to the free throw line. Here's Kyle moving into Naz, who tries the dribble drive, lost it, loose on the floor. And are we going to get a jump ball? We are. Boy, Luka did what we were talking about. He took his hands off to not tie it up. He wants Gafford to jump it up.
Well, I think that's a best case scenario for Minnesota, because Naz puts the ball on the deck and boots it around. I mean, you're lucky to come up with at least a tie up here to have a chance to win the jump ball and keep the possession. Gafford can get up, though.
Gafford against Naz Reid. at the free throw line. The Wolves down by a dozen with 2 to go in the opening quarter.
I mean, who's Nas going to tap it to right now, Alan? Look at the configuration of the floor right now. Who would you tap it to if you're Nas Reed?
You don't have the advantage anywhere.
You have no advantage anywhere.
Goes out of bounds, and
I mean, they both touched it. I don't know how you can give it to a particular person.
Kevin Scott watched that ball go out of bounds. He said Dallas ball. And John Goble's going to come over and say, it's Timberwolves basketball.
Thank goodness.
Well, the Wolves only have 2.1 on the shot clock. Let's hope they recognize that. Kyle Anderson will trigger in. Got to be something quick here. Ant comes to. There's nothing there. Now to Ant at the hash mark. Holds one dribble, pulls up. He didn't get that off. He hit the shot, but it came after the buzzer. So that'll be a shot clock violation against the Timberwolves. That's already their 3rd turnover of the game.
That was a quick 2.1.
It actually was, wasn't it?
I mean, Ant had it. It seemed like he only had it in his hands for a second or two. I mean, I know it's 2.1, but man, that went fast.
Doncic has it up top off the high Gafford screen. Now trapped, terminates the dribble. Here's Gafford to the right side and Jaden Hardy. Hardy probes to the left end. Now switches off to the right hand, back to left between the legs. Lost it. It's loose on the floor. Nikhil scoops it up. Timberwolves down by a dozen. They good possessions, and he threw it away. Luka to Hardy, right back to Luka. Catch and shoot 3 on the way. That's offline. Towns, a much more sure outlet here, and Kyle Anderson has it up at the front court. Spinning away and then lost it. Luka dives on the floor to get it back. Gets it to Hardy. His pass ahead is knocked around. Finally, Josh Green's got it. Drops it for Gafford, who goes up for the shot, and he got fouled. 2 shots coming up. This type of frenetic play, this benefits Luka Doncic and the Mavericks. The Wolves have turned it over 4 times. When you get a turnover or a missed shot against this team, you have to take better care of the ball and maximize things at the other end. Because guess what? They're shooting 57%, and with the exception of Game 4, they've dominated this series offensively.
Yeah, they have not been able to score on a turnover yet. Gafford's going to the free throw line for a chance to add to points off turnover, but there's 0 right now.
Timberwolves have missed 8 consecutive shots. And in there, they've got
at least 2 turnovers.
Yeah, 2.
I mean, Towns had one and Kyle just had one, so it's been this frenetic pace as you're talking about.
They've tried
Gafford
to match
misses the first free throw here.
They've tried to match what Dallas has done.
Yeah.
That's not a game they want to get into. One more free throw coming for Daniel Gafford. Free throw is good. Dallas has their largest lead of the game. They're up 13.
The other thing is that neither Cat or Ant has been able to really establish themselves in this game. Both of them are 2 of 5.
Maxi Kleba is in the game for Dallas. We saw him in Game 4. Missing time with a sprained shoulder. Separated shoulder. Here's Angel Hunter right by Kleba. Then a reach-in foul on Daniel Gafford inside. That'll be his first. And that should send the Wolves to the free throw line here. Anthony Edwards 0 for 1 at the stripe so far tonight. Timberwolves, go ahead.
Ant is a interesting study of offensive greatness because there are times when he seems to be able to score pretty much at will, and then there are other times, as he misses the first free throw, there are other times where he seems to really struggle and everything is hard. He can still score when things are hard, but it just bogs down your offense. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not like Kyrie or Luka or Jason Tatum or some of these great professional scorers, but somehow he still gets it done.
1 out of 2 at the free throw line. It's a 12-point Dallas lead. 44 seconds left to go first quarter. Luka and Kyrie still out there with Gafford, Green, and Kleba. Green up top. Here's Luka against Kyle Anderson off the Gafford screen. Luka to the left side, still with the dribble across the paint. Lobs it up off the backboard. It comes down to Gafford, and then he just responds by catching it off the glass, rising, and dunking for 2. He had 5 dunks in Game 4. He was 6 for 6 from the field in that game. And he's now got 11 dunks in the series. Nas looking to answer, drives in, couldn't hit the shot with 20 seconds left. 33-19, Dallas up by 14 points, and they'll have the final shot of the quarter. Luka's career high in a quarter is 21. He did that against Golden State last season. Here's Kyrie in the paint, runs it up on Nas Reed, scores it for 2. 1 second left to go in the quarter, 35-19. Inbound comes to Ant. He'll take one dribble. Three-quarter court shot is online, but short. It comes after the buzzer. A disastrous first quarter for Minnesota. After it was tied at 18, Dallas goes 17-1. The final 5:25. The Wolves don't go with a field goal in over 5.5 minutes. Second quarter of Game 5 is coming up next. Dallas in front, 30. Wolves and Mavericks in Game 5. And then all Dallas did over the final 5.5 minutes of that first quarter was outscore the Wolves 17-1. Luka Doncic, I thought Jim Peterson really set the tone. 8 of 11 shooting, 4 of 6 from deep. 20 points in that quarter, just the second time in his postseason career he's had a 20-point quarter.
He's been knocking down those shots, and then he's been looking back at the TNT bench over there, like all the broadcasters kind of
like make a spot now for me because I'm coming up after the game.
Yeah, like the histrionics with Luka, and he's just so smug. You just want to stick it to him so bad.
He does that all the time, right? That's how he gets going. That's part of what fuels him, I think.
It's what Luka magic is for sure.
12 minutes up on the scoreboard. The Wolves missed their final 9 shots. They haven't had a field goal since Rudy's and one at the 5:43 mark of the opening quarter. So they trail by 16. Dante Exum, Josh Green, Kyrie Irving, Derek Lively, and Maxi Kleber, the 5 on the floor. Kyrie's got it on the right side. He's got 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting. They double him, force a pass off to Maxi Kleber, gives it right back to Kyrie. Against Nickeil Alexander-Walker, beyond the arc, 7 to shoot. Right-handed dribble drive from baseline, pushes off, fades away, and strokes the 10-footer.
Just the ability to do that right there. I mean, just in isolation, take a defender down to the baseline and shoot a mid-range jumper. So easy for Kyrie to do.
He's now shooting 55% in this series on non-rim twos. And that shot's just unstoppable. Kyrie, I should say, Mike off the Rudy screen, tried to lob it back to Rudy, and a whistle. And it's just ball out of bounds. It'll be Dallas basketball.
And again, for Minnesota, the lob dunk is very difficult to execute. For Dallas, they do it time and time again.
There's Kyrie stepping through in the lane. Double clutch and somehow got that pass out to Kleber, who drains a left angle 3. The onslaught continues. 5 straight to begin the second quarter. It's a 22-1 run. 40-19. An absolutely embarrassing start here in Game 5.
Just surprised you have Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards both down at the same time.
Jaden's back in there with the 2 fouls. Mike takes a wild shot, and he'd be able to bank it in. He was looking for an and one there. And when Mike complains about it, he's about 100% correct. Wolves just give it right back up at the other end. Josh Green on a drive gets an uncontested shot at the rim. Dallas has hit 17 of 26 shots. That's 65%. They've hit 5 of 8 from deep, only 3 turnovers so far. Rudy on a handoff. Here's Jaden McDaniels down the lane. Kicks out to the corner. Here's Mike. Sets himself. Fires up the 3. It's going to be offline. Nas keeps the rebound alive. Mike's got it. Baseline drive. He'll hang. The shot inside. No, but once he missed the shot, Mark Davis said, you know what? I better put some air through this little metal thing. And send Mike Conley to the free throw line for 2 shots. Just past the 8 o'clock hour here in the Central Time Zone. Let's pause 10 seconds for Jim Peterson. Our engineer is Mike Weber. FM, KFAN, The Fan, iHeartRadio app, Timberwolves mobile app, SiriusXM, NBA Radio Channel 86, and all across the Timberwolves radio network. Got 2 free throws good for Mike Conley. It's 42-23. Dallas's 21-point lead is down to 19. Exum, free throw line extended, wing left. Lively will feed it off to Kyrie, who works on Nickeil. 10 on the shot clock, banging away, mid-post, comes into the paint and draws a foul. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Kyrie down the paint and just makes him in.
Consistently do the little things and be hostile.
You know, when Kyrie's focused in on basketball, he's great to listen to talking about the game.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah,
he's
in that regard.
He's smart, he's congenial. It seems like he's kind of an old soul from that respect.
Yeah. And when Luka and Kyrie played together, well, last year when he got traded, 2 years ago at the trade deadline, it was kind of a disaster down the stretch. They went 5-11 when those 2 played. They only played 16 out of 27 games. Nas straightaway 3 from beyond the arc. No, a couple of feet beyond the line. Lively the rebound. Bulls are down by 21 points. Kyrie got tripped up in the paint. whistle. More free throws coming up for Kyrie Irving.
They're going to call it on Jaden, too. That's going to be his third.
The third for number 3, and that'll be Kyle Anderson coming back into the game. So the first, when they made the trade for Kyrie 2 years ago at the trade deadline, it didn't fit together. They went 5 and 11 when those two actually played together.
Yeah.
But this year, regular season plus postseason, they're now 46 and 21 when those two play together. That's a 687 win percentage. That's pretty good basketball.
Pretty amazing. You know, I think Kyrie's the one, he talked to the Dallas people, he's the one that made it work. Luka was, I think, real lukewarm on the whole situation.
They do not put Kyrie at the free throw line, and the Mavericks turn it over. Here's Kyle Anderson, spins at the high post. His shot no good off the back iron. Exum with a rebound. Ant runs right at him, trying to rip away the basketball and couldn't do so. So Dallas has it, up by 21 points, left to right in the Association Whites.
Shocked that Towns isn't in the game right now.
He's still not out there. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. It feels like he's been sitting a long time. Kyrie on the attack, squirts between the defenders, throws up a shot at the buzzer and banks it in. That was that white box on the backboard. It was up to the right of that. Here's Ant crossover, frees himself and buries a 3 on Dante Exum. Highlight reel stuff, but the Wolves are still down by 20, 46-26. Kyrie to Lively, inside, kick out. Green will move it to the corner. Kleba, he put it on the deck and traveled.
Minnesota had been 1 of 13 until Ant hit that shot. Towns back in the game now for Naz Reid. Naz, disappointing 7-minute stint for him. 0 for 3, did not score, grabbed 1 rebound.
Luka coming back in after resting for 3 minutes and 29 seconds.
That checked out at 3:49 mark of the period, so he has been down for a long time. You're going to go down by 20 in a game, in an elimination game. I just think you go with your best players. I mean, like, you have to keep Cat on the floor. You have to keep one of the two on the floor, that's for sure.
So that is over a 7-minute stretch. The end of the first, into the second. Cat down the lane, splits two defenders. Layup is good.
Yeah.
Right on cue. Towns has 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. 46-28. The Wolves capitalize off the Dallas turnover. Here's Luka right of the lane, gets away from Rudy. Left alone, he'll float it up and in.
It's just ridiculous how methodical he is on the floor. He does not do anything fast, but yet he's so effective. Reminds me a lot of Chris Mullin. Mullin was not the fastest guy in the world, but boy, he scored.
Crossover by Ant, drive in, kick out to the corner. Here's Mike Conley. Lively closes out to prevent a 3-point opportunity. Kyle Anderson up top, high post Towns, lost it, got it back, runs it up off glass and drops in for 2 more. 48-30, there's 7:38 left to go in the first half. Dallas is still shooting 68% in this game. Luka feeds it to Lively, who runs to the rim, the layup no, but a whistle and a foul. Derek Lively will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Luka has the Mavs clicking on all cylinders here in the first half. He's got them huddled up. Wolves are not playing with any kind of pace. A tidy 145 offensive rating for Dallas right now. It's 145 points per 100 possessions. 85 offensive rating for the Wolves.
Yeah, so now you give up that big run that you gave up at the end of the first quarter, and you're going to be chasing that same 15 points the rest of the way.
It feels kind of like what the Nuggets did to the Wolves in those 3 games that they won.
Yeah.
They put together one of those runs, and then the Wolves were chasing it the rest of the game.
Just couldn't get ahead.
Somebody gotta go. Hey, slow-mo, we're going. Who leaves? What's that, man? D1.
Mark Davis telling everybody 1 shot. Luka, Kyrie, Lively, PJ Washington, and Derek Jones Jr. Gafford has to wait because he's coming in for Lively, who took the free throw. 49-30, Dallas by 19. 7:23 left to go for first half. Cat with it right side, takes a rumble inside the lane, runs up on Lively, drew the foul. Well, Cat has been aggressive tonight. He has driven already probably 4 or 5 times. And he's either hitting shots or he's getting to the free throw line.
It's 4 of 7 right now. He's going to be the first free throws for Karl Anthony Towns in the ball game. Minnesota is 4 of 7 from the line. Ant missed 2 of them.
First one for Carl. That drops in. Now Gafford can come in for Derek Lively.
One thing that Dallas is run out against Anthony Edwards, so watch Luka Doncic setting the screen on Karl Anthony Towns in the stack action, but he just releases right now.
Luka has it up top here. Kyle Anderson is on him. Gafford will set the high screen. Luka bounces out to Kyrie, who moves it to the corner. Derek Jones Jr., 3-ball, no. Rebound. Gafford comes away with it. Out to Kyrie. The possession continues. Luka crosses over, drives on Anderson in the lane, fakes the pass, 1-footed following. That's short. Rebound. Gotta have it. Finally, the Wolves secure. So they've got Nas and Cat out there together with Kyle, Ant, and Mike up front in the backcourt. Here's Ant. Got Kyrie on his hip, runs it up down the lane. The shot comes up short. Wolves couldn't take advantage. They're shooting 35%, while Dallas is at 63%. Dallas +6 on the glass early on. Here's Gafford, top of the key, out to Derek Jones Jr. Got an open lane. He drives in, missed the shot, and the Timberwolves have the rebound. 5-on-4 advantage if they push. Hit ahead to Kyle Anderson, steps through in the lane, out to Nas. Nas puts to the deck, didn't see Derek Jones coming, and knocked the ball away. Nas steals it right back, down to the corner. Here's Ant, spot up for the 3, missed it. Luka the rebound. Now the Wolves are in trouble here. Kyrie just knocks down Kyle Anderson, no call. Derek Jones Jr. corner 3, bingo. 52-32, back to a 20-point Dallas lead. Cut off by Kyrie Irving, backs it out. 5:45 left to go second quarter. Off the Kyle Anderson screen, probes into the paint, and 2 defenders go with him. Cat fakes the pass, drives into the paint, nothing but bodies there. He forces it up and in.
That's got to be an and one right there. That's got to be an and one right there. Wow, there's a lot of contact.
18-point game. Still with plenty of time here to start to gain some momentum, maybe cut to that Dallas lead. PJ Washington, corner 3, blocked by Naz Reid. Mike Conley pulls down the rebound. He gets fouled by Derek Jones Jr. So 52-34, Dallas by 18. Timeout on the floor. We step aside on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
So Minnesota's bench is 0 for 6 in the game so far, so they have not impacted this game. It's really upsetting for Nickeil Alexander-Walker to be kind of missing in action here in this series. He's not been good. He's 0 for 1. Nas 0 for 3. Kyle has not scored yet either. So it's a problem. You need points right now. You're kind of in a quandary.
Ant attacks down the lane, lays it up and in for 2. 52-36. The Wolves are within 16 here. It's as close as they've been since the end of the first quarter when they trail by 16.
I know you need to get stops, but you need to get buckets at
There's
this
an illegal
juncture.
screen.
Yeah, finally.
So Kevin Scott, the umpire, who's reffing his 46th playoff game, he got into it with Mike Nori and Chris Finch during that last timeout. Mike and Chris were unloading on him, and not a huge surprise then that they're probably calling out some of those illegal screens, and there was one right there.
Yeah. Well, you know that Minnesota sends in clips all the time of what they think is egregious mistakes and misses by these referees. Who knows if it does any good?
So Kyle will bring it up here. The Wolves have a chance to get it to 14, maybe 13. Here's Cat working against PJ Washington. Muscles past him, but missed the layup.
Can't miss layups in this game, then foul right afterwards. Kyle gets
Anderson
caught up. Yeah.
He's going for the ball, so I don't think it can be a transition take foul. You do have to, as long as you make an effort to get the ball, I think you're safe.
Well, and Luka's creating the contact as well. I mean, Luka's the one that's creating the contact. Yes, Kyle had his arm in there a little bit, but Luka's the one that's slapping at Kyle's arm, creating the contact that's causing the foul.
Doncic double to midcourt, now Lively, and a foul on Anderson. Kyle picks up another one. It's going to be his second.
And you're putting him in to the bonus as well. So, I mean, Minnesota's over the limit now, so Kyle fouls twice, and now it's going to be 3 points. Derek Lively's not a great free thrower, but still.
Yeah, 51% in the regular season. Lively missed game with the neck sprain. Even though he got kneed in the back of the head, they clarified it as a neck sprain. He misses the free throw. He is right back out there in game 5. He missed the first free throw. It's 52-36. Dallas by 16 points. Timberwolves are 8-11 all-time in elimination games in their franchise history. They have won 3 in a row in that scenario, and 4 of their last 5. And they're 6-6 on their home floor when facing elimination. They have dug themselves a mighty big hole. 23 points is what the trail by earlier in this quarter. It's currently a 17-point deficit after Lively hits 1 and 2. Nas' deep 3 is way long, went past the rim, ricocheted off the glass, and Dallas controls. Timberwolves shooting 36% and 2 of 10 from long range. Here's Luka. He's got this Mavs offense on a string. He's orchestrating everything. Now to Kyrie against Nas, one-on-one, into the paint to the corner. Wide open is B.J. Washington, and he is not missing that 3. Yes, he struggled on his threes overall, but in the corners, he's now 6 for 14 in the series. Nas backing down Luka. Luka just reaches in, pokes the ball free, controls it. 4-on-3 break. He'll kick to his right. Here's Kyrie. Bump fakes the 3, drives. Conley reached around, poked it free out of bounds. And it'll stay Dallas basketball. 3:38 left to go in the second quarter. 56-36, a 20-point advantage for the visiting Mavericks.
Unicorn lineup for Minnesota here.
Nas, Rudy, Cat, and K.A. plus Ant. I'm not sure it gets much bigger than that. Lively to the left side, Kyrie. He is wide open, just banks it in from 18 feet. Up to 56% on his non-rim twos here in this series. Dominant performance by Dallas here in the first half. They are getting every shot in the book. Here's Ant off the Rudy screen to the right side, still beyond the arc. Between his legs, drives on Derrick Jones Jr. Finally a whistle and a foul as DJJ reaches in and fouls Ant. And they'll send him to the free throw line for 2 shots.
So Minnesota's offense has gotten completely stagnant here too. I mean, they're not really running anything. I mean, they're coming down the floor and it's basically Ant playing one-on-one. It's like an AAU game almost. You know, it's like your best player trying to go against the entire team. And I mean, these are NBA players that you're trying to dribble against. It's actually impressive what he's doing. He's actually able to handle the basketball and sift through traffic and then make something happen. But it's not really getting much people involved.
And difficult to sustain for 40 minutes.
It's impossible to sustain for 48 minutes.
2 free throws are good. Dallas went on a 6-0 run after Cat missed that layup, which would have brought it to 14. Now the Wolves are down by 20. Luka left the lane, rises for the jumper, comes up short. That's only his 5th miss at 14 tries. And back the other way with the Wolves down by 20, 58-38. He's doubled off to Nas, up top. Jukes on Derrick Jones Jr. to the corner, Towns. Up fakes the 3, steps by on Lively and throws it away. Cat got way too fancy on the pass. Here comes P.J. Washington, bumps into Nas, frees himself, missed the shot off the glass. Nas collects the rebound. Gotta convert here. 4-on-3, left side, and now to the corner. Here's Cat, open look at the 3. Nope. And Luka Doncic has the rebound. 2:30 left to go first half, 58-38, Lively inside. Oh, he took a shot to the back of the head and he swirls down to the floor and he may be hurt again. And the referees have made the signal that they're going to look at that. And Lively appears to be down again. He's all alone underneath. Nas went up and inadvertently his arm comes down on the back of Lively's head. And of course that's where he got hit in game number 3. And played just 9 minutes before going back to the locker room. Mavericks look upset at this. 2:24 left to go in the first half. 58. Naz Reid had wind up on this. Naz is not even looking. He's almost past Lively because he fell for a pump fake. And Jim, I just don't think there's any wind up on this. They're going back to the highlights of him getting hurt in game 3, but I don't think there's wind up from Naz Reid. Is that wind-up?
Well, he's jumping up in the air to contest the shot by Lively, who he thought was going to dunk the basketball. So he was taking a chance that maybe he got the basketball, but he got Lively's head. So I don't agree that it's a flagrant 1. I think it's a common foul. But I think we talked about this during the break. I mean, you were talking about are they going to factor in the fact that he had the concussion? I'm just glad the kid's okay, because that's the most important thing. So he misses the first free throw here.
He's got one more coming. Well, the Wolves are going to throw Jordan McLaughlin into the mix here after the 2 free throws. Now, they said Minnesota gets the ball, but after a flagrant, I think it's going to be Dallas basketball. Flagrant is 2 shots and possession.
Right.
Yeah, Mark Davis said that incorrectly. But J-Mac is into the game. I'm trying to think in the postseason if J-Mac has had any non-garbage time minutes. Might have been something in Phoenix series.
I think there was some time in Phoenix, but if you're looking to change tempo of the game, put J-Mac in there to get ball movement. That's what Minnesota needs right now because they don't have any.
Kyrie Irving into the paint. Tough fall away over Kyle Anderson. He strokes it. 14 for Kyrie Irving. He's an efficient 6 of 10 shooter. Dallas still shooting up over 60%. They put up 61 points here in the first half. 2 minutes to go. Kyle Anderson weaving to his right. Back up top to Ant. On a drive. Into the paint to J-Mac in the corner. Free ball. Missed it. Offensive rebound. Kyle looked like he had it. Then got stripped. And it's scooped up by the Mavericks. P.J. Washington down to Luka. Up the center of the floor. Down the lane. No look to the corner. Derrick Jones Jr. run off the 3-point line. Back out to Luka. Now he'll catch and shoot on the 3 and drain it. His 5th 3 of the half.
12-2 run here for Dallas. They've just been putting together these gargantuan runs here against Minnesota.
40% from 3 in the series. J-Mac baseline. Kicks out to Kyle Anderson right in front of the Wolves bench. Back to J-Mac at the angle. One-on-one against Luka in the lane. Runs it up the right hand. That shot comes up short. Rebound loose. J-Mac fighting for it, but it's scooped up by Luka Doncic and the Mavs. Kyrie up into the front court from left to right. Lively back down to Doncic. He's on the logo at midcourt. He's got Jordan McLaughlin on. J-Mac reaches in quickly, pokes it free out of bounds. It will stay Dallas basketball. 1:08 left to go in the first half. 64-38. 26-point Dallas lead. By far and away the largest lead in the series for either team. Lively comes out. Gafford takes the inbound right back to Luka. 25 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Kyrie on the right side against Jordan McLaughlin. One-on-one, he'll just rise up to the 3 and drain it. Couple of feet beyond the arc. Kyrie up to 17. 67 points for Dallas here in the first half on 63% shooting. 9 of 14 from deep. 15-2 Dallas run. Rudy off to Cat the right side. He'll use the Rudy screen up top against Gafford with a right-handed dribble. Now to Kyle, right side. 3 ball away is good. That's the second 3. Oh, they call it a 2. Even that can't go right for the Wolves. KA with a deep 2. The Wolves are down by 26. Luka into the lane, stops with 2 defenders on him. Kick out to Kyrie, who up fakes the 3, drives on Ant, throws up the shot. It's short, and a whistle and a foul. Ant claps his hands toward John Goebel. Disgusted with the call. 2 free throws coming up. Timberwolves basketball tonight brought to you in part by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is proud to be the official bank of the Wolves. And by Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Book your stay now, TICasino.com. Treasure Island, the exclusive casino partner of the Timberwolves.
It's a little bit questionable, that call. Minnesota's not going to challenge it, but the replay looked like he got basketball, and then he dislodged the shot from Kyrie Irving as he was going to the hoop that time, and it looked like he got basketball. And if he did get a little hand, I still don't understand when the hand is part of the ball.
Yeah.
It seems like it's part of the ball until it isn't, and when it's not, it seems to be when Minnesota is getting the bits of play that causes it to happen. So
Kyrie hits a pair. He's got 19 points. So in the first 3 games, Luka and Kyrie averaged 60 points a game between the two. In game 4, they totaled just 44. They have got 44 here in the first half here in game 5. 8 on the shot clock, under 30 seconds to go in the half. Ant the drive, splits the D, out to Kyle in the corner. Now to Cat, who up fakes the 3, zips it back to Kyle, up fakes a 3, doesn't get a shot off. Tremendous defense by Dallas. Boy, that Dallas bench is up and into it. They are loving this. They're up by 29 with 5.7 seconds left to go in the second quarter.
Not only have they taken Minnesota's crowd out of the game, they've gotten a few bluebirds now, starting with some of the offensive execution they're going through.
Oh, Luka just fires on a straightaway 3 from half court. Boy, that was a heat check at the end of the quarter. He just laughs as he comes off the floor. He says, "My bad, guys," to Kyrie in particular. Over the final 17 minutes and 25 seconds, Dallas outscores Minnesota 51-22. The game was tied at 18 before that 51-22 run happened. Dallas dominates the first half. They lead by 29. Halftime is next. Cal Soderquist anchors that from the NBA. With it, joined by assistant coach Corliss Williamson here courtside. Corliss, where do you guys start at the half when addressing? You can't get this back by trying to go home run all the time. It's just got to be. There's time. The one thing you do have is time on your side. You've got this crowd which is ready to explode. It'll be really interesting to see how these Wolves play in the second half.
What Minnesota did in Denver when they were down 20, because they were down 15 and Jamal Murray scored 5 straight, so Minnesota found this was down 20 in the third quarter. They came back with an 8-0 run, so that cut it to 12. And so for Minnesota, if they can just go on a little 10-0 run and get something started, to get some confidence rolling, and give Dallas a little something to think about here.
Yeah. So that Game 7 20-point comeback with 22 minutes left to play is the largest postseason comeback in franchise history. So that's where the bar has been set.
Yeah.
Wolves have done it once. This one a little bit larger. 29 points is what they have to overcome here in the final 24 minutes. 69-40 is the score.
One thing that Minnesota's not done, and what this is indicative of this team, they have not let go of the rope in any game this year.
So inside a lob to P.J. Washington, he throws it down. 71-40. Anthony Edwards brings it up on the left side. Here's Karl Anthony Towns. He'll dump it inside to Rudy. Kick out. Left side. Here is Mike Conley. Off back to Rudy, who shoved Luka out of the way. Luka flails. Trying to draw the foul. Rudy lays it in for 2. 71-42. So they went down by 31 there for a moment. That becomes the new bar. The new goal. Dallas shot 62% in that first half. Here's Luka left side. Drives on Anthony Edwards. Got to the block. Good pump fake. That got Ant in the air. Ant will commit the foul. That'll be his second. And Luka will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Luka had his way on just about everybody in that first half. But
he did.
So did Kyrie for them. They have 44 points at the half. Timberwolves had 40 as a team. And as Corliss mentioned, Luka outscored the Wolves by himself in the opening quarter, 20-19.
Luka Doncic draws the foul on Anthony Edwards. A little bit of a hard foul there by Ant. He and Towns both and managed to grab 20 points in that second half. It was so key for Minnesota's win.
2 free throws good for Luka is up to 27 points. It's a 31-point deficit, 73-42. Here's Ant, top of the key. Rudy bounces it to no one on the wing. Mike had started to go that direction, changed his mind, and Rudy threw it to where Mike was, not where he was going. Turnover on Minnesota is their 10th of the game. So Luka and the Mavs have the ball up by 31 points here in Game 5. Doncic works to the right side, off a Gafford screen, down the lane, floater, up and in with the right hand. Timeout, Timberwolves, and the boos are out. Wolves down 33. Instead of eating into a 29-point deficit, it has expanded the opening 1 minute and 23 seconds. 75-42, Dallas in control on the Timberwolves radio network. And it's now or never, Jim. Yeah, I thought halftime would have been that mark, but now this is a new mark. And you're down by an even larger deficit, and you're just taking about a minute and a half off the clock. So you just made your life more difficult. It's got to be now.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not like Dallas is going to their bench much either. They're rolling with their stars here. Derek Lively did play 14 minutes in the first half, but Minnesota's guys, you're just looking for your team to show a sign of life and not to let go of the rope, because after this incredible season, to go out without really taking hold of that rope and fighting for this game, Alan, it's really disappointing.
Yeah. Jaden McDaniels, right corner, dribbles to the elbow, pulls up for the jumper and hits it.
Jaden's first hoop of the game, too. He's 1 for 3.
He got into foul difficulty early, only played 6 minutes in that first half, a missed shot, and then even when they miss, Dallas is getting the offensive rebound. P.J. Washington collects. Out to Luka Doncic up top. He'll work on Karl Anthony Towns. Gets around him, snakes his way to the nail. Drops it back, Derrick Jones Jr. Drives to the elbow. Back out to Luka. Inside Gafford. Good pump fake. He got flattened by Rudy Gobert. A lot of contact there. Gafford will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Rudy picks up his second personal. Kid from... They would face the Boston Celtics. Bulls are down by 33 with 9:52 left. Cat on a run to the rim. Got his shot. Boy, Gafford thought he got a block. Cat draws the foul. He'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Towns is
Twice to the high percentage shots that they're getting. They've outdunked the Wolves 32-19 over these first 4 games.
I mean, from what we've seen in this series against the Dallas Mavericks, I mean, I'm not sure that Boston can beat them. Boston's not been good at in Boston too, by the way. They've lost a lot of home games over the years in that building.
P.J. Washington gets his shot blocked by Rudy Gobert. Towns pulls it down. Here come the Wolves. Down by 31, left to right. Towns up top, catch and shoot 3. It's online, but short. And Gafford collects the rebound.
Cat does not hit a 3 in this game after going 4 for 4. He did miss that last one in Dallas to go 4 for 5, but those 4 straight 3s he hit were huge.
Because 3 of them were in the fourth quarter. Within an 11-2 run that gave the Wolves separation in that fourth quarter. And pull-up jumper after the Kyrie miss. He could not hit. And Dallas gets the ball back up 77-46. Lob inside from midcourt. Gafford comes down with it under duress out to Luka. Right side, here comes Derrick Jones Jr. Passes on the corner 3. P.J. Washington above the break 3. That's just his second of the entire series. Is 2 for 14 on his above the break 3s.
10 of 17 in the game for Dallas too. 2 of 13 for Minnesota outside the arc.
Here's Cat on a run to the rim, rises up on Gafford, got his shot blocked. Hopefully it'll go down as a block for Gafford. Yeah, it does. It's another block. He's gotten Cat 5 times in the series. Luka with it at the logo with 8:20 left to go third quarter. It's 80-46. And Luka throws it away. Conley with the steal. Mike will come up the center of the floor to his left, and Jaden McDaniels now to Towns in the corner is going to fire away, and he's just short. I mean, Cat's trying to make something happen, but these 3s are not really that close. Timberwolves shooting 34%. Jim mentioned the 2 for 14 from beyond the arc. Here's Luka against Jaden McDaniels into the paint. Hesitates, rises, count it, and a foul. He has just orchestrated this entire game. He set the tone early, and he has put the Timberwolves in jail on his hip, right where he got Jaden McDaniels on that possession. Number 4 on Jaden. Dallas has gone 13-6 to begin the third quarter. Even Snoop Dogg can't believe it. I'm glad you reached out to Snoop Dogg, got him in the building tonight, but I don't know if we'll get him back after this.
There's a lot of people that are disappointed in this performance, but nobody's more disappointed than Chris Finch and his coaching staff and these players. I mean, and I really believe you and I and Michael Grady were sitting there at shoot-around today, and it was very energetic, man. It was a great shoot-around. It was, the vibes were flowing.
Jaden McDaniels able to hit a 3 after Luka could not cap off the three-point play. So it's 82-49. 36 is the largest deficit the Wolves have faced as Luka tries a pull-up 3 straight away. That's no good. Anthony Edwards has the rebound. 7:25 left to go in the third. And deep to the right side. That drops in. Back-to-back 3s, and the Wolves are within 30. 82-52. Luka hounded by McDaniels coming up the floor, and they get Jaden for his 5th.
Well, Luka Doncic came into this game. He punched Minnesota in the face. He punched 17,000 fans in the face when his game started.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit those 2 ludicrous distance 3s right away. He had 10 points before the game even started.
Kyrie just downshifts, reverses, and frees himself for a 19-footer right side and drains it.
What a duo. This two, you have so much respect for these two guys, man.
Jaden right side three, that's offline. Cat battles for the rebound, he's got it. Put back blocked by Lively. Cat sticks with it, lays it back up and in. 84-54 with 6:41 left to go in the third quarter. Here's Kyrie quickly in the front court, easily around town to the right side. Matched up against Nikhil Alexander-Walker. How about a step back right side three? Why not? He drains that. His second three of the night, 24 points for Kyrie Irving. 33-point Dallas lead. 6:23 left to go here in the third quarter. And around the Rudy screen, he's going to pop on a straightaway triple and knock that down. 87-57.
And showing a sign of life here. Towns has 16 all of a sudden. Ant has 15. So those two are trying to make their presence felt here in the quarter.
Kyrie looking to answer. Pulls up on a three. That's off the back iron. Ant up high for the rebound. Lost it. It's off the leg of Ant, out of bounds. And that's where Dallas is just, they're tracking down loose balls. They're making the extra play. They had two on Ant there, battling for that rebound. Reed comes in, Rudy Gobert sits, Kyle Anderson also in, Mike Conley out, Derek Jones Jr. Josh Green is in. Luka high screen Lively, nope, he rejects it to the top of the key. Out to Josh Green, he wants to get to the act, left side three, no, and Towns collects the rebound. Bulls are down by 30 here, and in the front court, stop and pop straight away, three, got it again. That's his third three of the game. They've all come here in the third quarter, and it has made things relatively interesting. 87-60. Wolves were down 36. They now trail by 27. Timeout Jason Kidd midway through. Timberwolves are on a 14-5 run here over the last 2 minutes. That has chipped away just 9 points of the lead. The Wolves were down by 36. Now they're down by 27 with 5:41 left to play. In the third quarter, Derek Lively remains on the floor. He talked after shoot-around today about having to miss Game 4.
Sucks. You know, I'm sitting on the sideline. I'm sidelined. You know, and I don't want to be able to be a crutch whenever I step out on the floor. So I want to be able to make sure my mind and my body is right and my body's ready for when I step on the court.
Well, he was questionable heading into tonight. Even Jason Kidd in his pregame presser still called him questionable, even though he went through a good warm-up. And then about 20 minutes later, they declared him available for tonight. Lively has once again got hit on the head, but he still remains on the floor.
You know, I'm really proud of these Timberwolves fans, though. There's still a lot of them here, and they're into this game as much as they can.
Jumper for Kyle Anderson is good. That's 26 for Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, man.
That's 57 points combined for Luka and Kyrie. We still have 5:10 left. And with it up top, backs it out to Logo. And they're just going to send two at him the rest of the game. Cat baseline drive, aggressive play, and he gets rewarded.
Well, I'm the one that.
The ball, he gets it off to Ant, who drifts to the right side. He's guarded by P.J. Washington, hesitates, now falls away on the three. It comes up short. It hits the top of the backboard and the shot clock, and so it'll be Dallas basketball.
I think that one of the things that Dallas has that they haven't had in the past is that they have tremendous length now, and they have guys like P.J. Washington who can switch and cover. You know, Josh Green. I mean, they got all these great athletes now, and they have the two bigs.
Shot baseline for Luka, that rims off. The Wolves have the rebound. Here's Ant on the push, inside the arc, cross court. Towns going to fire a deep three on the way and hit it. 89-64. Wolves have cut it to 25 with 4:09 left to go in the third. Just keep battling. Here's Luka, picked up by Kyle Anderson from across the timeline. Trapped, and they knocked it away. It's loose on the floor. Cat scoops it up, and he got it right side. Cat's going to fire on a three, a really desperation shot. He should not have shot that. And Towns is down, 5 on 4. P.J. Washington run off the three-point line, drives in, out to Josh Green, up top to Luka, down lane, lob it to Lively, that's offline. That's the only time this series they've missed the alley-oop. Cat run to the rim, he got it. 89-66, the Wolves are within 23, 3:28 left.
We're going to think if we can just get it under 20
right.
At this juncture.
High post, Eric Lively out to the three-point line. Back to Luka, sitting on 31 points. Luka terminates the dribble, lobs it to Lively at the top of the key. Out to Kyrie, steps into the three and drains up. Third three for Kyrie, he's up to 29 points. And that's a cool 60 points for Kyrie and Luka. That's what they averaged over the first 3 games combined together per game.
Cat and Ant have scored Minnesota's last 17.
Here's Ant on the hunt, into the mid-post. He rises up with a right-handed push shot. It rolls off, and Luka collects the rebound. 2:45 left to go in the third. Kyrie on the move. He'll stop, pop, 3-ball away. Off the back iron, no. Kyle Anderson the rebound. Micah Nori yelling out, go, go. Kyle surveys the scene, looking to get it to Nas. Little post up against Kyrie. Face up, now backs him down. Into the paint, splits 2 defenders. Layup good and a foul. 3-point play the old-fashioned way. 2:64. Nas free throw could make this a 23-point game.
First 2 for the game for Nas Reed in the ball game. It's 1 of 5 right now for Minnesota.
Only 4 points off the bench for the Bulls. 1 of 13 shooting, 1 of 12 shooting. 92-68. Dallas is led by as many as 36. Nas's free throw makes it a 23-point lead. Little bit of life. Luke up the center of the floor. Now Lively to the left side. Here's Hardy, catch and shoot 3 on the way. He hits that. Jaden Hardy has hit 1 3 in every single game so far in this series. Check that. That was Josh Green, not Jaden Hardy. Josh Green has hit 1 3 in every game so far in this series. I got my bench roll guys mixed up. Timberwolves miss at the offensive end. Luka's got it right side. He's isolated against Cat up top. Left-handed dribble. Now inside the arc. Top of the key. Hesitates. Now zips it to the corner. Here's Josh Green.
What is
his
this?
3-ball? No. But he got fouled. Nickeil Alexander-Walker goes tumbling into the Wolves bench. He commits the foul. 3 shots coming up for the Mavericks.
I mean, it wasn't even close that time. Josh Green is loading it up to shoot it, and Nickeil goes across his body and fouls him so hard that they're going to review this for a hostile act, I assume.
1:47 left to go in the third quarter.
I mean, are you with me on how Nickeil closed out that
Dallas
time?
has called a timeout to challenge the shooting foul assessed Alexander. Minnesota's called a timeout. Challenge the shooting foul assessed Alexander.
That would be awesome. If Dallas could challenge their own.
Yeah, why would you I didn't get that.
Wait,
but again,
Minnesota is challenging this call?
So Minnesota's challenging the call. It's a glancing blow.
He angles past him, but I think he hits him pretty clearly. Wow. Maybe not.
Wow, from our angle, it looked like he really hit him hard, but the way that Josh Green sells this thing, I mean, there's no contact on the hand, but the way that Josh Green sells the play, it really looked like Nickeil took him out from our angle. You see the replay, and it is really nothing. It just goes to show you how much these players try to fool referees.
$95-69. Dallas leads with 1:47 left to go in the third quarter. By the way, that run that the Clippers had to come back from 31 down in that playoff game against Golden State in 2019, a cool 72-37 run to end the game. It was over the final 19 minutes and 25 seconds, the largest comeback in NBA playoff history. 72-37. And yet, Golden State won that series in 6 games. So for all that work that LA did to win that particular game, it did not result in them winning more than 2 games in the series. Fans, don't forget, summer's just around the corner. Now's the best time to register your child for the Wolves and Link summer basketball camps. Camps are being held throughout the Metro. They'll feature a special appearance by Crunch. Registration is now open at TimberwolvesBasketballAcademy.com. Mark Davis, the result of the challenge.
Replay has determined that the contact, if any, by Alexander is marginal at best. Therefore, this is a successful challenge. Imminent possession will be awarded to Dallas. Reset the shot clock to 4.
They have been 0 for 3, and they had lost 4 straight going back to Game 7. Scott Foster. They won their first 8 challenges of the postseason. Then had lost 4 in a row. Now they've won this one, but Dallas maintains possession. Maxi Kleber off to Luka Doncic. 8 to shoot right side, watched by Naz Reid. Ant comes on a double. Luka passes out of that up top to Jaden Hardy with a right-handed dribble. Stops, pops, pulls up at the end of the shot clock. No, and the ball's loose, so this is going to be a shot clock violation. Gafford tried to take the air ball and flip it up, but he got spun around and went down rather hard.
And Gobert has only the physical nature.
It ends of the spectrum too.
Right.
It was 6.
Right.
It was out of control in Game 4, and then none here in Game 5. Doncic bounces it off up top to Kleber. He'll drive in. He got stripped by Ant. Ant scoops up the loose ball. Here the Wolves on the push. Ant surveys the scene, trying to free himself for a 3. Couldn't do it. Here's Cat on a run right by Doncic. Lays it up and in. Man, Luka got happy feet. He was setting up to draw the charge. He's like, oh God. Here comes Towns. He's going to bowl me over. He just got out of the way. 95-73. Timberwolves down by 22.
Towns has 24 points now. 12 points in the quarter.
Luka brings it up right to left. He's got 31. Kyrie's got 29. Kyle Anderson is watching Doncic out by midcourt. Under a minute to go third quarter. Luka with a right-handed dribble. Blows by Anderson in the lane. Rises up for the jumper. Got it. He got bumped from behind. He was looking for the foul, and then he just said, you know what? I get it. We're up by 24. I'm not going to get that call. Here's Ant into the front court, matched up against Kleber, trying to take him off the dribble with the left hand into the paint. Kicks to the corner. Nas wide open, looking at a 3. No good off the heel. Kyle Anderson did the same thing he did in Game 4 to free up Cat for a fourth quarter 3. But this time Nas couldn't knock it down. Kleber on a handoff to Luka up top. Kyle still watching Luka. There's a 5-second differential. Game clock, shot clock. Can't foul here. And Cat comes on a late double. That's an easy pick for Doncic. Corner 3 for Hardy is no good. Wolves save the rebound. 6 seconds left. 5 crossing midcourt. And on the right side beyond the arc, trying to cross over Kleber. Stole it. His half-court shot at the buzzer is long and off the glass. No. Through 3 quarters in Game 5, it's still all Dallas. They led by as many as 36. The Wolves have got it down to 24 points. Going to the fourth quarter next on the Timberwolves.
Jacklings, the official Protein Stereo Network.
Underway, the Wolves with work to do. They trail by as many as 36 in that third quarter. They've got it down to 24. This is not the way the Wolves envisioned Game 5 going, coming off the win in game number 4.
We've been a resilient team all year. I think, we never lost 3 in a row until we got to the playoffs. So we never lost 4 in a row. Guys, respond. It's a fun team to coach because they believe that they can always win no matter what. Really, I think that we still haven't played our best basketball yet. That's the exciting part about our situation. We just know that there's a lot more in the tank.
No, we don't want to go home, man. We love what we got going on. We're going to try to keep this thing alive. I know the fans will be electric in Minnesota in 2 days, so we're looking forward to that.
What am I supposed to say? I'm supposed to say we're going to lose Game 5? No, I'm not going to never say that. Michael Parsons, he was rocking the 81s, and I told him he wears size 14. I'll bring back some nice shoes for Game 6. That's what I told him.
Chris Finch, Mike Conley, Kyle Anderson, and Anthony Edwards. Optimistic heading into Game 5 here tonight, but the Wolves have dug themselves an awfully big hole. Largest fourth quarter comeback in NBA playoff history. 21 points done twice. Boston against New Jersey back in 2002. The Clippers at Memphis back in 2012. Wolves are down 24 to begin the fourth quarter. They have the first possession. Left side, Anthony Edwards against Derrick Jones Jr. Thought about a step back 3, instead lobs it on the skip pass to Daniels. McDaniels off to Kyle Anderson, who throws up an air ball on the triple. The rebound out of bounds. The shot clock will expire, and it'll be Dallas basketball.
Well, Minnesota has not been great here in this building, this playoff run. They won the first 2 games against Phoenix.
And have lost 4 or 5.
They've lost 4 or 5 since, and this game is obviously in jeopardy here. So
Exum. Dante Exum brings it up here for the Mavericks. And they've got some minutes without Luke on the floor. Kyrie remains on there. Irving with it right side, off the Gafford screen. Attacks to the top of the key, out to Derrick Jones Jr. Drives in on Gobert. The layup is good. He was able to hang and finish. The ball hit back rim and dropped in softly. 99-73. Timberwolves down now 26 points with 11 minutes left to play. Here's Ant right side. Kick left side. Here's Kyle Anderson. Catch and shoot three, drops in.
That's his second field goal of the game. The first one that he had back in the first half was a long two. It looked like it was a three to start with, but his toe was on the line. So
PJ Washington left corner, top of the key. Daniel Gafford wants to get it back to the playmaker. Kyrie Irving is sitting on 29 points. He's hit 3 threes. Now to Gafford rolling down the lane. He'll kick out PJ Washington, and he misses it above the break three. That's more like it. He knocked one down earlier. PJ is now 2 for his last 15 on his above the break threes. And pull up 2. That is good from 18 feet out straight away. 99-78. The Wolves are down by 21. 10-12 left to play. Kyrie, quick crossover and drive in with the defense collapsing and blocks the shot. Comes out to Dante Exum. Now PJ Washington with it, 8 to shoot. He'll drive off to Gafford. Drives in on Gobert and finishes over the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. 101, 78, 23-point Dallas lead. Here's Nas, great fake on PJ Washington down the lane, lobs it to Rudy, who got it knocked away. Boy, Rudy got hit hard. That was PJ Washington, knocked it free. Here's Kyrie into the lane, off to PJ Washington, reverse layup, no. Kyrie, smallest guy on the floor, taps it up and in. The Wolves will call a timeout. 9:36 left to go in the fourth quarter. It's a 25-point Dallas lead. 3:78 out of the timeout. Timberwolves will have possession here, down by 25. Wolves got it down to 21, but that's as close as they've been. Anthony Edwards will bring it up from left to right. The Wolves are in their statement shadow gray jerseys. White, frost white, and Aurora green trim. Nas on the run down the lane, scoops it up off the glass. That's a shot he's hit routinely all season, but this one too strong off the glass. And the Wolves still shooting under 40%. Kyrie with it up top. Luka remains on the bench with 9:13 left to go in the fourth. A little give and go with Gafford. Back to Gafford, roll inside. He goes strong to the rim. He draws the contact. Go to the free throw line for 2. Gafford has been impressive in this series, Jim. He's only 3 of 3 shooting tonight, but he's got 9 points, 8 rebounds. At last check, he had himself 1 block shot.
I mean, you look at how they won that game. Like, do some damage in the Washington Wizards uniform. He's going to be great with Luka Doncic.
Man, he was really good in the starting lineup after the trade to Dallas. And then in the first couple of rounds, you mentioned Lively was better with the starters than he was. But I think Gafford he's been just as good as Lively. It's been a great combination. 105-78 after the Gafford free throws. Floater in the lane for Kyle Anderson, rattles around and drops in for 2.
Derrick Jones Jr. has been a nice acquisition for them, the way that he's turned out. He's a reclamation project too, right? Because he bounced around.
It's like his 5th different team in 8 years. Kyrie got it up top. Jaden McDaniels on. Jaden's got 5 fouls off the gas. That's illegal. That's very clear. John Goebel made the call. Gafford came up way too late. Kyrie was already, it's not always on the big man either on that screen, right? Like, it's timing between the two.
It is definitely timing for sure.
I mean, Kyrie was already moving. Gafford would have been better off just running the other way. Here's Nas in the lane, pushes it up from just inside the free throw line. That's off the back iron. Nas is 1 of 8 shooting in this game tonight. It's been a tough performance for the Wolves bench. They have just 10 points. 4 of 19 shooting for the bench. Kyrie pulls up on a left side 3 and drains it. Boy, in 3 of the 5 games, both Kyrie and Luka have gone for 30 plus. 34 for Irving. He's outscored Doncic, who has 33. Pump fake for Ant. Got his defender in the air. That's Derrick Jones Jr. He finishes off the glass for 2, and he'll go to the free throw line. for one shot.
So, I mean, Ant and Cat have gotten back into the mix here. Kyrie and Doncic combined 67 points here, but Towns with 26. Ant has a chance to level up with Karl Anthony Towns by making a free throw, and he does.
There's no other balance there. Nobody else has more than 9. Rudy's got 9, 7 for Mike, 7 for Kyle Anderson. Dallas has a couple of more players in double figures. Ant's free throw good. Down by 25 with 7:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. Kyrie bounce pass to his left and Dante Exum. 7 to shoot, now with 6 against Kyle Anderson. Exum with a right-handed dribble drive, floats it up with the right hand off the heel, no, and KA's got the rebound. He'll shuffle it off to Ant up the center of the floor. Ant surveys the scene. He was looking for space to pop on a 3, couldn't do it. Now he drives down the lane, the layup is good off the glass. 108-85, down by 23. Kyrie looking at a trap, he's still in the backcourt. Oh, and he bounced it, I think, across the timeline. At 16, and the runner by Kyrie, no, but an offensive rebound for Derek Lively, and he gets fouled. Wolves did a great job of, even though they didn't force an 8-second call, they sped up Dallas there. Yeah. They got the miss they wanted, but they can't secure these the defensive rebound.
And there's Derek Lively sitting in the dunker spot again, just like a shark in the water, just waiting for those offensive rebounds to come by. He's so quick to snatch those things up.
I hate sharks.
I'm fascinated by him, but I do not want to. I don't want to run into one, and I'm not even sure I would sit in a cage. Would you sit in a cage?
No, I had a hard enough time sitting on a surfboard, just California. You think you see something in the water too? No fear quite like this.
Oh my God!
Luka banks in a 3 with the shot clock winding down straight away. Wow. 36 now for Doncic, 70 points between the two, Luka and Kyrie. Ant with it on the right side, he's watched by Luka Doncic, 6:38 left to play, bounce pass to Nas, extra pass Jaden in the corner, he'll fire on a 3, and that's good. Jaden knocks down his second 3 of the night, 111-88 is the count. Down by 23, Derrick Jones Jr. in the front court from right to left here. Now to Kyrie. Lively comes out to field it well beyond the arc. Back to Irving up top. Lively will set the screen. Kyrie with the right-handed dribble, scoots down the lane, gets to the cup and lays it in with ease. He and Luka each with 36 now. The lead is 25 with 6 minutes left to play. And tried to split 2 defenders, got it knocked away. Cat has it against PJ Washington. Now back to Ant on the left side, 10 to shoot. A lot of space there. Finally a whistle and a foul. It'll go against PJ Washington. Not in the act of shooting, so sideline out of bounds. Timberwolves basketball brought to you by Mayo Clinic, your source for medical answers. And by U.S. Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Timberwolves.
Our stat guy, Mike Greenbaum, has 2 daughters that are ball kids for the Timberwolves, and they're twins. And one twin is at one end cleaning up the sweat, and the other twin is at the other end cleaning up the sweat. And because they're twins, they're identical, by the way. One wears short sleeve shorts, and then the other one wears long sleeve and long sweats, so you can tell them apart. They do a great job here all season long.
Are we sure they haven't switched up at some point?
Well, Maya has the mole on her chin, so you can tell them apart by the mole.
Okay.
Mike has no idea we're talking about his girls right now, but let me tell you, me and Grady talk about it all the time during the season. Mike's our stat guy. We have Super Stats Dave on your side over here doing a great job every night.
Kyrie catch and shoot, 30-footer, now probably 28-footer right side, that's offline. Bulls are down by 23, there's 5:12 left. And on the hunt, into the paint, 3 defenders on him. A kick out to Nas in the corner, he's got to fire away, and he missed it long, it's an air ball. Cat had the rebound come right to him, and he goes back up and gets fouled. 2 free throws coming up with 5:04 left to go fourth quarter.
How many years have you and Dave Hanlon been together?
Super Stats Dave has been here since I started.
Wow.
Before me. So 17 years.
20 for Dave, wow.
You know, the Timberwolves season this year started with a matchup against the Dallas Mavericks. 2 of them, in fact, in the preseason in Abu Dhabi. That feels like about 18 months ago. That feels like a long time ago. Tonight is the 104th game the Timberwolves have played this year. Preseason, regular season, postseason. 104. That's a monster number.
Yeah. It's one of the things you think about when you get into your training regimen, that if you get knocked out of the playoffs, you almost have to keep training until June to get your body to withstand that kind of pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Kevin Garnett talked about that. And he talked about his training regimen that Michael Jordan used to say, like, keep playing after you're done in the playoffs or the regular season.
As if you're playing,
so you could train your body to play into June.
I like that. Ant with it on the right side. The Wolves have possession here, down 113 to 92. Nas down the lane. Fires it out of bounds. Nobody home. Well, Luka Doncic went down. Went down awfully hard. I don't know if there was some contact there or what. Jason Kidd is hot. And a timeout has been called.
Well, inadvertent contact between Towns and Doncic.
Mark Davis made a review signal.
This is nothing. I mean, it can't be anything. Towns is trying to get out of the way. Luka was playing Nikhil in the corner, so.
Dallas has called a timeout to challenge the out-of-bounds decision awarded to Minnesota.
Oh. No. All right, well, you want to challenge that, that's fine. I mean, you don't have any right to challenge the contact.
Right.
No. But I think Luka just flailed himself to the ground. He took a shot to the mouth.
Oh, no, he took a shot from Towns.
Did he?
Oh, no? Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty significant. Towns trying to get out of the way.
You don't want anybody to get hurt? Kind of inadvertent.
It is inadvertent. Towns didn't mean to do it. They just ran into each other.
You got a 21-point lead with 4.5 left. You could avoid all that by not playing Luka and Kyrie the rest of the way. Timeout on the floor. We step aside on the Timberwolves radio network.
That's a good point.
Bring the fun to
28. Cat's got 20. And left side of the floor against 2 defenders. Holds 14 to shoot. Still pounding the dribble. Cross court. McDaniels extra pass Kyle. He'll set up for the 3 ball and glance it off the front of the rim into the waiting arms of Luka Doncic. 4 minutes left to go. It's 113 to 92. Unfortunately, when you're trying to make up this kind of deficit, Kyle Anderson is not the one you want shooting that ball in the corner. But the Wolves haven't had a lot of great opportunities for other players. Lively inside off the feed from Irving. Don't know if that would technically go down as an alley-oop, but I think Lively came down with it before going back up. Another dunk for the Mavericks. Here's Ant down the lane, out of Kyle in the corner again. Left alone, missed this one long, and the rebound to Luka Doncic. 115 to 92. 23-point deficit. The season down to 3 minutes and 16 seconds and counting. Snoop Dogg sitting courtside tonight. He has made his appearance and he is gone from the building into the night. Luka the drive off to Lively inside. Two-handed flush. The whistle sounds. Timeout Minnesota. They'll empty the bench and this one is over. 117 to 92. It's a 25-point Dallas lead. They're going to win this series 4 games to 1, and they're going to advance to the NBA Finals to take on the Boston Celtics. And I tell you what, Jim Peterson, I really felt over the first 3 games, I couldn't imagine a team beating Luka and Kyrie when they're playing that way. Then I saw game 4, and I kind of shifted my thoughts that maybe there were some
I think you're going to have a hard time doing.
But now the way they played in Game 5, I'm back on. I don't think anybody's slowing down this duo.
I think you're going to have a hard time doing to Luka and Kyrie what Minnesota did in Game 4 for four games.
Not when they're playing like this.
I mean,
when they're playing 40-plus minutes a night and Luka's making so many right decisions.
The only thing is that I think that for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, those two have the ability to get 30 and 40 each themselves. So then it comes down to the role players. And so, I don't know, man. Gafford and Lively are 2 X factors. If Porzingis can't play, I mean, those two give you such a punch on both ends of the floor. The shot blocking on the defensive end And the offensive rebounding and pick and roll game with Luka and Kyrie, I mean, they're just, you have to pick your poison. It doesn't matter what you choose. And then they've got enough shooting around with the others on their team. I mean, between PJ Washington, who shot it great since he's been in a Dallas Mavericks uniform, and Derrick Jones Jr., they've got a tough file. Their bench is a little shaky, though. They don't have a lot of depth. Boston doesn't either, though.
Yeah, that's true. And the health of Kristaps Porzingis, I think, might be everything for as far as Boston is concerned. So the Wolves have emptied the bench here. J-Mac is out there. Wendell Moore Jr., Luka Garza, Josh Minot, and Leonard Miller. Josh Green's got it for Dallas to the corner, and former Timberwolf A.J. Lawson misses the three.
Thinking that we're going to get a Luka Garza 3 here at some point.
Minot lobs it to Garza inside. The layup is up and drops in for Luka Garza.
Or a layup, one of the two. I mean, this guy, all he does is work with this scout team, right? All the scout team players from Minnesota, fantastic.
Jaden Hardy out there works on McLaughlin, drives in, got the layup. I'll tell you what, Jaden Hardy's filled a nice role for them too.
Yes.
I mean, he's the one guy besides Kyrie and Luka on the backcourt that can create something. I don't think it's something you'll rely on for the entire or a good chunk of the game, but for possession, especially when Luka's out or Kyrie's out, to have that extra option. Hardy played well.
I'm a little surprised they've given up on Tim Hardaway Jr. as much as he's helped them over the years. They just punted on that dude.
Fades on the free throw line. Jumper hits it. It's 121-94. Just playing out the string here in the final 1 minute 34 seconds. Luka Garza handoff to J-Mac and the elbow back out to Luka. Luka will start to back down Dante Exum, pivots. And now the one-footed follow-up. Got it. 121-96. I think it's going to be a heck of an NBA Finals. Dallas is really playing well. And if anybody who thinks that they would have walked over Dallas, I know some Denver people were saying, hey, I think this is just a bad matchup for Minnesota, that we would have beaten Dallas. I don't think so. I think Dallas is for real. They deserve to be going to the NBA Finals, and I think they've got a great chance. And I might even pick them over Boston.
That Dallas bench right now is very celebratory. Sean Sweeney hugging Kyrie Irving, Sean Sweeney, Minnesota Zones from St. Paul, Creighton Durham Hall.
Yeah.
St. Thomas too, so you're happy for that kid because he's really paid his dues. He's going to be a head coach in this league as well.
Dante Exum off the Dwight Powell screen. The lob back to Powell. He could still get up, Jim. Tore his Achilles a couple years ago. He's kind of been replaced by Lively and Gafford. But Dwight Powell, he was the original partner with Luka when they got to the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. Wendell Moore, a little fade baseline right from 10. 123-100. 40 seconds left to go in this Western Conference Finals. On the run, it's A.J. Lawson down the lane. He got spun around. He tried to throw it towards the rim, but he got spun around so much, didn't know where the rim was. It's a couple.
Oh, he says, shh. Puts his finger up to the lips.
Incredibly disappointing. I thought A.J. was different. I thought
he's not a giver. I mean, doesn't care much for the Minnesota fan base.
Oh, Wendell, thank you for the three right side. Speaking of players on the roster, I happened to look at the Timberwolves stats from this season. I realized, do you remember the Justin Jackson era? This year, 2 games this season.
I remember when he was with us. I didn't realize he got into
short
2
period of
games.
time. I don't even know if he filled a roster spot, 2-way, 10-day.
It was a 10-day. It was a 10-day, trust me. My goodness.
Shot clock expires, so the Timberwolves will have to inbound with 5 seconds left. J-Mac will pass it in. The Timberwolves, Wendell Moore Jr. is going to fire on a 3. It's off the back iron at the buzzer, and that'll do it. The Dallas Mavericks, for the 3rd time in franchise history, are going to the NBA Finals. They've defeated the Timberwolves 4-1. They win Game 5 here at Target Center, 124-103, behind 72 points combined between Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. They split it right down the middle, 36 apiece. 124-103. 2 teams embrace at midcourt. They're lined up for handshakes and hugs. And the crowd that is left here, let's go Wolves chants here from the crowd, Jim. It's been a magical season as